Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producers here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
So, lots to get to today, but I want to talk about John Daly for a second.
Hot topic. It's burning. As soon as you ran in this morning, you're like, I got to talk about John Daly.
He's been showing up on my TikTok feed.
You got an interesting algorithm, my
He's
friend.
back.
And I'm watching it, and apparently, like, maybe his son or his team got him into social media because he's a great character for social media. And I started thinking about this, like
He's like a big fat golfing island boy.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Right? Big fat golfing island boy.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the wacky,
Yeah.
he's got the loudmouth clothing. He wears like
barefoot, smokes, drinks.
Yeah,
you know.
He's a party dude.
And tells stories. He's a party animal. Like I said on Twitch before we started the show, he's like the Burt Kreischer of golf. And
Putting up a picture for Sam so you can see what he looks like. He kind of looks like drunk party Santa Claus.
Yeah, I've discovered him now.
Yeah, there he is. He's kind of like a drunk party Santa Claus.
So then John Daly has
He likes to smoke. There he is on the course just chugging away. I like that.
and there's a lot of urban.
What does he do with his cigarette butts?
Throw it right on the ground. Like,
Yeah?
like you're supposed to.
He's a little bit trashy.
Leave a little something for the
A
squirrels.
little bit rock and roll.
And
Yeah.
the thing about John Daly is, and I'm no golf.
He also has
Hey, he does podcasts. Maybe we should try and get him on.
Let's try and get
Yeah.
him on. He has the
Write it
Cleveland, or he has I believe the Las Vegas Raiders owner's haircut, right? Am I getting that right? Or is
The
it
Mark Davis.
The Mark.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
there's a picture of him with the Mark Davis.
Yeah, yeah.
no,
a
it's not as
mullet.
bad.
Why do old men decide to cut their hair to make people angry? It's anger hair.
It's a talking
It's a
piece.
trolling hair.
Trolling hair.
Yeah.
Why do old
Trump
white
did that.
men?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't see this in any other community. This is a white guy thing, right? Old white guys, like old dad, you get what I like to call D-head hair.
Oh, yeah.
You're just doing it to make us mad.
Yeah, he's trolling
Some
with
might
his
say
hair.
that Tom used to do that.
Yes!
But see, he didn't do it on purpose.
Yes,
He was
you had the
just
Mark Davis, dude,
dumb
for
and
years.
lazy.
You were the
No,
original owner of the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll go back that when I'm old.
No, never go back.
Straight
I never-
across,
I
high and
I would
straight
quit the
across
show.
bangs.
I would separate myself. I would cash out. If you said today,
You'd Antonio Brown it?
I would. I'd
Yeah.
Antonio Brown it. If
Nah,
you
you'll
said
stay.
today,
You'll
no,
stay.
I cannot be around that hair anymore, dude. It's out of control. Even my hair without product, I'll go put a hat on. I can't look at it.
You're like an abused wife. I could beat you up. You'll stick around. I
do love you. I'd follow you to hell.
You'll go to your sister's house, but
Yeah,
you'll
talk
come
it
back.
out. I'll talk it out with her.
So John Daly
I love it.
was, I think, a really renowned golfer.
Oh yeah,
Like-
he's mega
like-
talented. Yeah.
And
Jimmy would know more about this.
Exactly. Yeah,
But
we should call Jimmy.
But I believe John
What is he
Daly.
doing right now?
Yeah, maybe we can give him a buzz. But I believe John Daly is one of those guys where, yeah, he's just a sick and disgusting amount of natural golf talent.
Yes.
Like the guy is made for golf. He kind of looks like a baseball guy, right? I think this guy could have been a baseball guy.
well,
Looks like he can hit things out of the park.
Oh, baseball players are good at golf usually too. You know, this is like the swing.
I mean, he doesn't look athletic.
No, and
Well,
that's-
he's huge though. You got to see, he's a big dude.
And he's always kind of been out of shape and a fat guy, and
Yeah, a
that's
little dumpy.
But that's added to his urban legend, which
Like here he is in his prime.
He's
Sam.
only 5'11".
But he's massive though.
yeah.
He's a massive
he's
dude.
not that fat in his prime. But
not-
Okay, yeah. When he was younger.
yeah, he kind of looked like.
he had the John Gruden back then.
Well, no, he's actually
haircut.
He's kind of rocking the haircut that a lot of different
The
folks,
shaggy mullet.
like it's kind of in right now.
Yeah.
The Daly haircut of the '90s and
yeah.
early 2000s is kind of back.
What's his name? I mean, this the mullet, right?
Yeah, mullet.
Like what the Theo Vaughn's got the mullet or whatever. Anyway, so
She doesn't like Theo. Don't bring it up.
oh no, he's saying
No, I
no.
don't like Theo Vaughn.
So
I don't care for him.
No, I'm joking.
I just don't find him that funny.
I like
He'll be at
this.
Dr. Phillips Center this month, I think.
I like this picture of John Daly the best, where he just has that massive Floridian, like
Oh,
big beach dad gut. The big.
Yeah, oh, he's got a big red
My
brown.
dad had one of those.
Yeah, that is the white label Mabel traditional
looks tight.
Budweiser. It's
Yeah.
tight. Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like
It is tight. It's like a basketball.
The tight bellies are scary, man. Matty
Oh.
Matheson, the chef, he's got a tight belly. The tight belly,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the time bomb,
Oh, that's
right?
hard. Oh, yeah,
That's the time
yeah,
bomb.
Oh, that's yeah.
I think that's the time
Yeah.
bomb because when
Once
you
your fat
it
gets
shouldn't-
hard, it's like, why is it so hard?
When people's when people's
I speak from
fat,
experience.
like when people's fat
that's
is
not
oozy,
good.
like I have a kind of a jiggy belly right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, oozy fat is
When
fine.
people see that, they go, "Hey, good job, you're working on it. I see what
Yeah.
you're doing there." But when you got tight fat, people are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Where's that trying to go?"
Yeah. Well, it
Nowhere
goes,
to go.
it just pushes
Trying to- it's
inward
trying
on
to
your heart.
explode.
Yeah.
You implode.
Yeah.
It's like a star dying.
It's like the pressure's high. You know what it is?
Yeah.
Your pressure can't
I
be
can
high.
see it. I don't need to test your blood pressure. I can see that your skin is trying to hold your organs inside.
So John Daly is the best for social media because the urban legends, you know, would have been great for social media too, like Andre the Giant. Like if he was still alive.
Fingers too big for the phone.
No,
Sorry.
he'd
Try
have a
again.
team, and just because the urban legend is so huge, I'm surprised.
No. If Andre the Giant were alive right now, and this is what we're pivoting to, he would end up just like an island boy.
Right, well, yeah, but people would consume his social media because they'd be
No,
fascinated.
I don't think they
with
would
him.
have given him the chance.
But he had a good
'Cause
personality
he
too.
did,
Island boys don't have a good personality.
But there are plenty of people that have good personalities that are just freaks of nature, right? I feel like people would have only given him 15 seconds. You have to sit with Andre to figure out how complex he is, how kind he was, right? People say that he was kind, he
Yeah,
was loving.
but I think
you got to give him more than 20 seconds.
True, but I think through lots of TikToks, you could probably get that across that he's a likable person. Like I think that's
have enough time to get through that I'm likable.
that's why the Island Boys are not like their star is fading because
They don't
they're-
have it.
They're not likable.
They don't have the it factor. Wow.
People like to laugh at them, but they're not likable. And then now people are trying to fight them. That's a whole other thing I want to talk about. Is like now everybody
Don't
just tries.
fight.
Everybody
Don't
just
fight the Island Boys.
yells at
No.
the Island Boys and
No.
tries them, and they try to like yell back and try to fight, and then it just doesn't come
Do
across.
they yell back like they're? Do they like?
Oh, they try
Please
to
stop
hold me.
yelling at me.
No. They're trying to like to
Why
fight.
you being so mean?
So John Daly,
John Daly with Island Boy hair.
he's great on social media, but here's the problem, and maybe I'm getting old and soft. But he likes to not only like his old party days are fine. I like hearing those stories, but when he still talks about how many like drinks and cigarettes he has and how unhealthy he is now, it's kind of sad.
Does he still talk about
Yes.
it? Oh.
Well,
Yeah, I like it. Let him live his life the way he wants.
yes, that's true, but it's
It's not like he doesn't know the dangers, right?
It's not as it doesn't make me as happy because
So you're a bigger fan of get in, do your partying, and get out, and then tell me
because
about
that's
it.
how he lived his life.
well when you're
You party now, dude.
No, he doesn't.
no, I don't.
Well, you party now, I think, than most
I never
adults.
really partied.
I think the three of us imbibe and party more naturally than most people do.
Yeah, I think.
I
you're
think
right,
most people don't imbibe
yeah.
like
the
we do.
average dad or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
I mean,
I'll drink some beers and
Yeah.
I will smoke some weed a lot more than I think
Yeah.
the teacher of my daughter. You know,
Yeah, okay,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
her
yeah,
teacher is, because our
Yeah.
career is a little different maybe. I
We're
don't
not
know.
Surprised
John
some of these
Daly,
teachers
yeah.
get down.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. That's probably a bad example, the teacher.
I know some teachers that party.
It's also a super hard job, so maybe that's
I mean,
a
let
bad...
them party, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm not judging.
So it's interesting because
Look, just because you can't hang anymore, Tom, let John Daly live his life, man.
I heard I heard an interview with Bert Kreischer. Speaking of drinking, and
When's he going to pull back just a touch?
well, he and I heard him on
he
some
goes through
podcast.
bouts of it. Well,
Yeah,
he'll go
stopping
sober
it.
for a little bit.
On a podcast, I heard his quote was, "I'll never stop drinking. I'll always keep my body just healthy enough so I can keep drinking because I love it so much." Right, and that's a logical
That is, yeah.
answer to because if
Sounds
you
like
get
a guy's got to figure it out.
if you get it,
Internally, is he healthy? I don't know.
Well, if you get blood tests and
you
you go to the
Right,
doctor,
right.
I mean,
If you
you
got-
assume that he is, right?
if you got yeah, well,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
gets
not
tested.
he's not as big as John Daly, and smoking, like, you do what you want, I don't care, but when you're as big and as tight as John
you
Daly,
shouldn't be smoking cigarettes.
When- and
yeah.
you're-
At least pull that back. You can keep your drinks, I guess.
and you're smoking and drinking as much, and still And he's how old is John Daly? He's
55.
55.
Yeah.
So
Chat room says 55.
So you're 55. You're like 300 and something pounds, and you're.
It said he was only like 2 something.
No, he's 300
Man,
pounds.
I don't know if it's updated or not.
I think everything we've been fed for forever is wrong.
215 pounds. That's as big as you were.
No,
Yes.
He's
I don't
315.
believe that for a second.
No. Unless
Not for a second.
Wait
John
a minute,
Daly's
you're
tall.
as big fat as John
Wait,
Daly.
so John Daly only got to 215? At my heaviest, I was 185. That's so wrong. No, ma'am.
Look at
that. Didn't know.
John Daly's over 300 pounds.
He's a big fat chongus.
Anyway,
It says he lost 60 pounds on a diet of whiskey, cigarettes, and popcorn. I love this guy. I love this guy.
Popcorn.
it is
Hold
good.
on.
When you're watching, and maybe I do. I don't even care. Do what you want. I'm just saying, when you brag about it now, it's kind of like, oh.
What was the other thing?
You're
Whiskey?
55 and you're
Whiskey,
300 pounds.
cigarettes, and popcorn. That's a country song.
You're gonna die, right, from this.
Those are
Like
three
you
things.
can't keep it up for
No.
how long can you keep it up for?
You can't. You can't.
Like not when you're like if any right.
30 years
It's all
tops.
genetics because some people drink and smoke until they're 100 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but are they as big as John Daly? You know what I'm saying? Like there are you get the old
There's anomalies
skinny
out there.
guy. Yeah, there is anomalies. You're right, and maybe he could do this for another 15 years, no problem.
Is he
But
really
I don't know.
doing
I don't
it,
know.
or is it just the legend?
You're right, and maybe it's
You
just
know?
Maybe the
that-
image.
maybe he doesn't really do it.
I don't know.
Um,
It is fascinating though.
I
because
hope he lives forever.
Yeah, I mean, he's
it's
fun.
a great character.
Drinking and smoking and eating popcorn.
And again, the stories, like I like hearing all the stories,
Yeah.
but
the folklore's pretty dope, man.
it's the same thing with the Jackass guys still doing it. Like there's a certain amount of time where like you get to a certain age that if you're still doing what you were doing in your 20s or whatever, it starts to turn sad for me. You know, even
Okay, let me give you one.
like
Let me
you're
give you one.
still, you know,
Lemmy. You would still see him up until the time he died. You would still
he had a problem though.
Absolutely he did, but you would still see him at the Rainbow, at the video poker machine. Like this is like a known thing that I've read. And like, look, I've
You weren't there personally,
not
but
there
yeah,
personally,
yeah.
but I have read in multiple publications that are reputable and not fake newsy type stuff that you could just saunter up to the Rainbow, and there would be Lemmy sitting at video poker drinking, like any day of the week, like a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And it was like a known
it's
thing
fine.
that he would always be there. Now, is that sad to you? If you saw that, does that diminish a little bit of his kind of rock and roll-y deal? Like where?
I mean,
maybe that's a bad example. I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying. It's like you're sitting like an old man at
'Cause he is
video
just an old
poker,
drunk.
like
Yeah.
You know,
getting
like,
drunk all day.
If
I
you
mean,
pull the rock and
do
roll
whatever
away,
you want.
he's any guy at any VFW,
But
right?
but it's like, you know, getting hammered all day playing video poker, drinking is not really cool.
Oh, Dan,
Like,
Dan
that's
Paul
not-
added to that.
Is
I
that
didn't
cool?
know that. Dan
Do what you
Paul-
want, but
Dan Paul in the Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. He says Lemmy had his mail delivered to the Rainbow. That's hilarious, dude.
I mean, at a certain when does it become sad though? That's not, like, is that cool?
I guess
Like, that's kind of sad.
Well, if that's
Yeah,
if you really love the bar and you enjoy that and that's what you live for, kind of like what Bert was saying when Bert says, you know,
I
just
like
gonna,
drinking too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know.
I'm not saying anything bad about drinking or anything like this. I drink damn near, I mean, every day. So
you didn't put
who am
damn
I?
near in front of that.
Who am I to say
Who are
anything?
you to judge?
But I'm just saying when you tell someone like all the stuff you're doing and you look unhealthy, you're like, man. I hope, because I like you, John Daly, and I like, it's just like, are you just like,
But if he stopped it
killing
all
yourself.
today, is he then lame-o? Would you still like him?
Not
If he
as
was just a
much.
boring old white
I know,
man that
yeah,
golfs?
You're
like
right.
if he were golfing,
You're
dressed,
right.
dressed to the nines
You
and
can't
skinny.
win with you, Tom.
I know.
Oh my god!
I know.
Holy smokes.
It wouldn't be the character. I like the character.
Oh my
right?
god! What just happened?
Well, it's like it's why I liked Ric Flair.
Guys, I think I have corona.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, would it bother? Okay, the Ric Flair, that's a perfect example. Thank you for bringing up Ric Flair. Ric Flair is perfect for me in the idea that I love Ric Flair. I love the image of Ric Flair. I love all his stories. I'm not saying he's a great person. I'm just saying I enjoy him.
The documentary was kind of sad.
It is sad.
And it made me kind of sad for him a little bit because it
He's pissed a lot of people off, made a lot of people mad.
The character was great, but the reality was like, oh man, and like his son passed away, and like and it looks like this whole facade that he was trying to build was
I
like.
forgot about David Flair.
You
Right?
know,
Isn't that who?
I
believe his
I'm
son
not
was
sure.
David. He was a wrestler as well.
and he had an addiction
he
problem,
was a
and then
wrestler too. I forgot about that.
and if you watch the Ric Flair documentary, I think it's on
Reed
HBO.
Flair, somebody's saying.
Reed,
I don't.
yeah.
David is alive. Okay,
But
good. Thank you, Ghost, for helping me with. Okay, Reed. I didn't know he had a kid pass away. My God.
The Ric Flair character is awesome, and his life is awesome.
Oh, when he's
but
pumping up the
it's
Atlanta
sad, though.
Falcons and he's doing
Can-
the woo and he's doing the gimmick. Yeah, it's
Can you
hilarious.
be awesome and sad at the same time?
Yes.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You're talking it out.
Okay.
Because Lemmy is awesome and sad at the same time.
Yes. Okay.
You know,
so
let's-
it can be
I-
awesome
ugh.
and sad.
Dude, we can probably name a lot of people that are awesome and sad at the same time. Antonio Brown is awesome
Yes.
and sad at the same
Okay,
time.
yes, all
We
right.
need a new
Hold
term
on.
for this.
Kanye West,
Yeah,
awesome
and sad.
awesome and sad. You're figuring this out, and I like. What do we call? Is it just awesome sad?
I don't
You're
know.
awesome
Man,
sad.
Kanye West may be out of the sad.
I'm not sad
category
for him.
because
No, I worry
he's
about his
still,
family, but he's good.
He's still
He's fine.
like even the stuff he does makes him more successful. So and the Antonio Brown
Yeah,
thing,
but
I
he
don't
does
think
some
is going
erratic
to.
stuff, and he has children, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Can't disagree with
Sorry.
that.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
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 you're
no,
right.
no,
Not
no,
to be a-
Spoken as a person who went
Awesome and
through
sad.
a version of life that you would have preferred maybe a different version of your dad. I think
He
it's
probably needed to be on medication.
Yeah, that's an
you know what I
accurate
mean?
way of saying it.
Undiagnosed.
Yeah.
But we need awesome and sad, right? Because because everybody knows what you kind of have to do in life, and we all are doing
get
it.
it. We
You're
all get it.
working,
We
you're trying
get
to
it,
raise
yeah.
your kids or whatever. You're just trying to work a job and like save some money for when you get old. You know, you do the standard. And then you see these awesome people living these crazy lives, and then we need to live vicariously through them. But if you break it all down, Ric Flair had a sad life that looked kind of sad
I have proof.
in his documentary.
Again, Ghost and Manu Bull in our Twitch chat room. And hey, you can
It
join.
was awesome, though.
You can join our Twitch chat room and be a part of our show live, like right now. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. We'd love to have you. Ghost says, I saw Sting, the wrestler Sting, and Ric Flair at a panel at Dragon Con. And a fan asked Rick if he could do anything different in his career, what would he do? Rick's response was, quote, I wish I was more of a father to my son than I'd been a friend. And then the whole convention hall got really quiet.
That's a sad thing to say.
There's your proof.
But Ric Flair is awesome.
He is awesome, but
and
it's
his story
so
is
sad.
awesome. And
But
he
possibly just not an awesome dad.
No,
No.
I think he knows he's
Right,
not an
that's
awesome
what I'm
dad.
saying.
Yeah.
Is that's what he was
But
saying.
think
is
he
that-
knows he's-
but the fact that he
That's the
knows
one
it
regret, maybe.
and regrets it, and his son passed away, and all this stuff is sad.
Yeah, real
Oh,
sad.
of course.
And can you be ultimately awesome?
I don't
and
think anyone can be
never
100%
spend-
awesome. There's got to be elements of sad.
You're right.
There's got to be.
I'm 100%
Because
Well,
you're
because-
sacrificing some things, right, to be awesome or to have live this awesome life.
You're
right.
correct.
And-
Pete
and
Davidson
if you were
is sacrificing other things that he would be doing, right? Because I think he's pretty
And,
awesome.
and if you were totally responsible, it wouldn't be as awesome.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Because, like,
Being responsible, not awesome.
because you're right.
It's lame.
yeah,
God,
Look,
this
you
is
have
so-
to do it to be an adult, but it's lame.
so
Yeah.
heavy. I'm so
And we
confused
don't
right
like,
now.
If I saw,
I'm having an existential crisis.
if,
Hold on.
If John Daly actually
I'm about to
said,
Antonio Brown it.
yeah, we all quit the show.
like, if he said, like, listen, I don't drink that much.
Hold on, Sam's
like,
Antonio Browning it. I got to see this.
yeah, if I watched the Ric Flair documentary and he was a responsible person and this was all an act and a character and then he kept it together and didn't drink 13
Right,
drinks
right.
a day, and it wouldn't be awesome, right? So then, but because it's legitimate, it's awesome. But then the sadness comes with it. All right, we figured it out.
Dude,
That's it. Awesome and sad.
I have a
The yin and the yang.
I have to confess something to you. You told me I should watch the Ric Flair 30 for 30.
You haven't watched that yet?
I don't want to. He told me it will change the way I
No.
feel about my favorite wrestler.
No, it's an awesome story. It's just, it's sad.
yeah,
a little
honestly,
bit.
Sam, most of it
It's awesome and sad.
most of it
I don't know.
I already know, and I don't want to do the
Yeah.
sad parts. I've had enough sad.
Yeah, but the awesome parts are truly amazing. And that's
EJ chiming in, who said he won't come in today because we've all had corona.
That's fine.
EJ said Tom is his John Daly. You are his
No,
John.
no.
Wow.
I'm not. It's not.
Insulting.
I'm not awesome enough for it to be sad. You know,
I
what I'm
think
saying?
you're pretty awesome.
You
You don't have enough sad. I don't think.
I've hit well.
You're boring dad now.
Yeah, you don't have enough sad. Your kids are beautiful. Your wife's beautiful.
You started sad, got slightly
Yeah.
awesome, back to sad.
I don't think he's sad. I don't see anything sad. He might be sad, but his
Sad
existence.
meaning he's responsible adult and dad now.
Okay,
Yeah.
that I
Not
can
partying,
that I
not
can
going
agree
out
with.
doing crazy antics,
That
no
I-
stunts.
So
Yeah.
the sad
Yeah.
part is the awesome left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
And that's normally what happens in a normal person's
Of
life,
course.
right?
You grow
if
up,
if I kept
start-
it awesome, I
That's
wouldn't.
why I got Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm hanging on to that youth.
Because
Interesting.
well, now especially with when you take
don't
the
wanna grow
kids
up.
out of it, then it takes a lot of the sadness possibilities out.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you add the kids,
Oh,
sadness.
sad.
It's easy to get in there because you can let them down so easily.
Well,
right?
you have to stop being awesome. Because if you're going
At
to be
least
a
a
good
little bit,
parent,
yes.
yeah. And so when you start,
agree.
it's either sad because you stop being awesome, or if you kept being awesome, it's sad because you
Bad parent.
You make, there it
Yeah,
is.
there it is.
And that's
Do you
it.
know how hard it is for me to secretly be awesome? You know how hard that is?
How do you hide it?
I mean, I don't want to
just
tell
stay
you.
off social
if
media?
if I tell
Yeah.
you, you'll start seeing it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want you to. I don't want you to get into my tricks.
Because like that's the thing where like if someone is an insane celebrity that's working and touring insane amount of time, unless their family is touring with them, which like I know some band
I don't
people
want my
do.
family to tour with me because I want the luxury of being able to do things out from under their
Be
eyesight.
awesome.
You know, I
But-
don't want my wife seeing me when I'm not saying I do anything bad, but after a concert, I like to flirt with my groupies a little bit. It's playful. It's nothing, there's no touching involved. It's all just kind of like wordsmith role play.
Because if
A lot of playful talking.
your life is awesome, but if you're gone so much from your family, that's a little sad, right?
I'm always
It's
Their
Yeah.
life is not awesome.
I'm always
because-
gone from
Yeah,
my
because then
family.
you're gone. Yeah,
I am forever gone from my family. Podcasting, the road for a podcaster, we're always on the road. I mean, how many years have we done this, and how many days are we out on the road?
If you
There is something very sexy to me about the road. Not to steal from Tenacious D, but there is something attractive to me about, like, you're on the tour bus and you're heading out and
what's a freedom?
you're a
just-
loner. Going to a new town. They got any diners in here? Let's get some breakfast before we rock this place sideways.
Because then you're eating fast food, and that's
Yeah,
sad.
Yeah, but I'm doing enough drugs. I'm doing enough drugs to
Okay,
offset that.
okay.
right?
Well,
Back in.
and you could do
I'm
that
coke crazy.
up until a point, and that's where it becomes
We take a
it's
break.
Awesome
you
when
take a break and you come home and then you let your wife dote on you and like kind of nurse
Miss
you
you
back
so
to health.
much.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you go back on the road. It's like kind
Yeah.
of being like a trucker, except you're cooler than a trucker. Slightly. Truckers keep America running. I don't want to disparage, but I'm just saying, rock star, a little bit cooler.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to a Corporate Time. EJ's on the line. Let's do it. We're-
right. Oh, I didn't.
in 2022, we're going to try to do a tight 20
A tie 20? Okay.
in 2022.
All right, here we go.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
It's Nerd Jock with EJ. Now, there's a little bit of confusion because Canadian
is.
Josh raised the $50 and sent it to you for you not to do your bit today. But we wanted to talk about a couple things. So you're not doing your bit next week,
Right. You're off.
Wait, he's off next week.
which is insane.
I don't
that-
understand the Nerd Jack schedule.
I don't understand it either.
Technically, he should have been off this week, but because it's the first week back and we wanted to chat about a
it's
few
so
things.
complicated.
I know.
And they're
It's so
paying, yeah, they're
complicated.
Don't
paying
ask
them
about
to-
the Twitch schedule either. It's all over the place.
It's more advanced than my daughter's dance schedule. It's like Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 hour.
I blame EJ, but I also blame us.
I also blame Canadian Josh.
Why are
Yeah.
we fighting so hard for something that matters so little?
I don't know. That's
feel-
been our whole show
my
business
God,
model.
The number
Fight for what doesn't matter.
Exactly. The number of meetings that we have to have about the literally the least important thing that we do. I feel like I spend all of my time talking about Nerd Jock.
Most
Is
of-
it on? Is it off? Is it on? Is it off? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it off? Is it on? Is it off? Is it bad? Is it good?
most of our time is consumed with talking about Nerd Jock and finding our P.O. Box key.
That's true. That's true. Or some
God
trust
damn
password.
Oh,
Or some trust
oh,
password.
yes, yeah.
Which
You
reminds
should have saw the
me-
pop pops this
Which
morning.
reminds
Oh,
me-
man.
A solid 40 on
As soon-
Suntrust
okay,
password.
here's what I'm doing today. And
God
EJ,
damn it.
don't talk during this. This is official business. if I can figure out our SunTrust password, I'm going to cancel Butler's credit card. That's what I'm doing today.
I think he bought all his Christmas presents with it.
We still have...
I can't log in to see if he's spending anything because I don't know the password. But if he is spending anything...
I wonder if people
How much is that connected
we're
to the
joking?
big one, right? Not the
I think
little
it
one.
is.
Yeah.
It's connected to the big one, right?
the
The
big
main
one.
one
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
pulling our checks.
Yeah, his credit card's still active.
Oh, as active as ever. More active than it's ever been.
And we can't turn it off.
Man, the number of Lego sets and paints that are just
My
jang,
God.
jang, jang, jang. Paint crazy.
How you doing, EJ?
Good. How was your holidays, guys?
Yeah,
Well, we all had COVID. So.
We all had COVID because of you. You brought it in here.
I did not come in there. Thank you for not bringing me in
God.
that Tuesday. I appreciate that so much.
I wish we would have given it to EJ.
I kind of do too. I kind of do too.
Oh.
If anybody, if there was one person that you could think of in our universe
Yeah.
that you wanted to get it,
Okay, yeah.
Mm.
this is hypothetical, so it's not like we're being bad people when we say this.
Yeah.
If you could pick one person
Ah.
in our circle
Yeah.
to give it to, who would you pick? Mine is EJ.
Okay, well, I have to go with Seth.
I was going to go
Oh,
with Seth. Hold
yeah.
on, that was
might
my
be better.
pick.
That might be better. Hold on
Only
a second.
because I
Just
know
out of
he'll
pure
be
hate-
perfectly fine, but it'll freak out every sniffle.
Okay, just out of pure hate.
He'll be checking his blood oxygen level every 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Just out of pure hate, I would like to give it to ACT Trivia Drew.
Okay.
Just because his bit is the worst.
Oh.
And if we gave it to him, at least I'd get 10 days of quiet.
All right, EJ, what do we got first?
Well, let's go over. I'm just doing a year review kind of stuff that happened over the year. Well, we got to talk about Betty White passing away, so we'll start with nerd.
Starting with the
That one.
breaking news, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which is sad. She didn't make it to 100. She was 17 days away or close to that.
I mean,
Yeah.
can we go ahead and give it to her since we gave Bill
She made
Cosby
it.
an honorary doctorate?
Right?
I feel like we can give Betty White 17 days.
Yeah.
Right?
She made the cover of People magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Well,
it's weird.
She was
that-
pretty much there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Just give it to her. Yeah, you did it.
she was obviously beloved, and if you see the social media, and honestly, if you hear all the stories that come out, like the internet would find bad stories if there were bad stories. Believe me. So, and they only find good ones, and so it proves how good of a woman this person was. And
The chat room nailed it. Brock, and I'm going to give credit to Brock and Juan on this one. She lived through 24 leap years, so she did make it. She did make it.
she didn't. Well, that's like saying that UCF.
Yeah,
is the
but
national
leap years. No, but leap years. Should leap years matter? I think that's a bad analogy.
you didn't
because
make it.
the UCF thing is ridiculous, and I think leap years are too. Right? Can't we all agree that
Yes.
manipulating the calendar is stupid?
Yes.
It
But
is.
there's a reason
So is
for
daylight
it. You know that,
savings.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
but
we
there's
switched the calendar and
But there shouldn't be.
We need.
We make it all up.
Just make a different
EJ.
version that makes sense instead of having to be like, oh, nope, you got to take from here. Nope, add that on here. Sorry, there's a blood moon.
Well,
Can't do it.
How we measure time is not exactly perfect.
No.
The
Right.
Earth doesn't go around the sun exactly the same time, so we have to compensate. Blah blah blah. Anyway, Betty White. So the people that were
Not a
shocked.
fan. Not a fan.
That's
You're
what.
not a fan of Betty White?
I'm
Girls?
kidding.
At the Bills game, they played the "Thank you for being a friend" during the warm-ups.
No, I love Betty White. And my grandma, Lucille, who my daughter's middle name came from, it looked exactly, almost identical to Betty White. Like the same, it was the same era. So that style of, what is that, like a pencil dress? That made up to the nines. You see
Yeah.
the old school Betty White where she had black hair? That's what my grandma looked like.
Yeah, it's like my Meemaw.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
all had the poof hair.
It's the poof hair, that mentality of the traditional America's grandma, right? That's why she was so beloved. Plus, she was a good person, which then furthered her. I mean, she became a pop culture icon, right?
Yeah.
And that's why, it's kind of like Chuck Norris, but for the Meemaw.
It's
like
exactly like Chuck Norris. And
right?
No, it is.
I don't know.
The
People
legend.
started to turn on Chuck lately.
Yeah, but I think the analogy
Well,
is sound
yeah,
other than
you know.
the ultra-conservatism, but I think that the logic is sound because Betty White, like even Christine asked in there, is Betty White cool or is it just cool to like Betty White and Golden Girls because
I never watched Golden Girls.
it's a good show, but I wouldn't say that if I revisited it now, I'd be like, oh my God, this
No.
is like legendary
No.
TV.
She's she's a legend. She lasted her entire life in entertainment.
Yeah, and was relevant doing it.
Yeah.
Like people would like bring her into stuff and wanted her around.
Like Chuck Norris, the legend is bigger than her. You know what I'm saying? It became bigger than the actual person. Like Betty White became an icon bigger than the actual human being Betty White, you know? And
did she have I know she had a husband.
He passed, yeah.
Did she have a current boyfriend?
No, she just took care of all of her animals. She opened up her own little like zoo at her house. She was like an animal rescue.
That's what crazy people do, right?
yeah.
Let's look at the bad here.
Let's
look at the bad
Oh, wait
here.
a minute. Is it awesome sad?
Crazy zoo lady.
let's go awesome sad on
Yeah.
Betty White. You want to go awesome sad?
Her
Betty
house
White?
smelled
It was
like
sad that her
pee-pee.
parents or her
Oh, I
parents or
bet
husband
her.
died.
I bet if you met her, I bet if you just buried your nose in her blouse, it smelled like ammonia crazy.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. If she was an animal person, it
Yeah.
smelled like pee-pee in her
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
That's a little
And if
sad.
she was anything like or similar to my grandma, so that's all I can do, right? All I can go on are experiences that I've had and use those facts to try and find better hypothesize. Hypothesize. What do you call it? Hypothesis. But
Yeah.
how do you? What's the plural of
Hypotheses.
that? Hypotheses.
Yeah, I think so.
Hypotheses. But yeah, it smelled like pee-pee in there.
Yeah.
100%.
All
All
right.
right,
I
we're
loved
at
her in
8
Lake
minutes.
Placid.
If we're doing a tight 20, you better move on.
Oh my God.
No, this is the Type 20. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Well, what did you guys binge over the holidays? I watched The Witcher, Cobra Kai, and Spider-Man.
I'm in the middle of The
Three
Witcher
things
right
I-
now.
I
I'm in
did
the
nerd.
I'm in the middle of Witcher as well.
I'm on the Yellowstone. I'm now in season
Ew.
4.
Wow, you're burning through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we burned through all through COVID and stuff. We're watching
You're
Yellowstone.
one of the Yellowstone guys, right? That's the most trendy show to watch. You strike me as a typical Yellowstoner. Yep, we got a Yellowstone over here, folks.
I will-
Typical Yellowstoner, just jumping on the
Fake
bandwagon.
cowboy with his big truck they'll
Yeah.
never use.
You know
is,
who
is
wa-
it politicized now?
Oh yeah, everything is.
Oh.
You know who loves Yellowstone though, and it makes me hate it? Is who was the guy in New Kids on the Block that's married to Jenny McCarthy?
Donnie.
Yeah,
Donnie Wahlberg.
and he wears a cowboy hat and a jacket that says Yellowstone on it when he watches the show with Jenny McCarthy. So as soon as I saw that, I go, I can never watch this show ever.
You know, in the show, there's no real politics at all. And it's like there's no racism as far as within the Yellowstone crew. Like there would be, honestly, in reality, right? But it's like they got, in the Yellowstone actual crew.
In their universe,
there-
yeah.
Yeah, there's women, there's a black person, so it's like.
There's some diversity there.
Anyway, you have to get a little past the writing, though.
You said that, yeah.
It gets a little, you're like, I won't look at it.
Little cornball.
It's fine. It's good.
Is it Rick Grimes? They've screwed with the wrong people. Is it
Carl.
Yeah, is it that cornball?
It gets, things that get beyond reality. You're like, that wouldn't happen.
I'm gonna go meet with the aliens.
Yeah, like there's too many murders happening. First of all, like
This place is a wasteland of bodies.
Yeah, there's so much murder. Like, how can it be? It's a small town. Like,
Wild West,
Yeah,
man.
but it's like
not.
current day.
Yeah, it's 2000.
It's current day.
I was thinking of 1883.
No, yeah.
You would
Yeah,
think-
that I believe. Like,
You would
murder
think
everybody.
that- You would think the police would say, "We got a
Yeah.
situation in
Right?
Yellowstone." This-
Everybody's got a smartphone. There's a murder every day.
Why
Anyway.
is it? Why one of those murders would be on TikTok? 15 seconds of murder.
What else you got, EJ?
Okay, well, since you only got 8 minutes, let's go to sports now. We got to talk about John Madden dying as well, because he was like the other big death over the holidays.
You know, I was playing Madden when he died. Not when he died, but I was playing
Right.
Madden when it came through. And I appreciated the fact that the Madden game pulled the switch and they immediately had a big statement
Really?
that popped up and like a big, beautiful picture of him and like kind words saying, this is our guy and all love to him. And I thought that was really neat. And I like the fact that they pulled the trigger on it real time. Like, I like that I was playing the game when that happened.
I don't know if it's pure coincidence, but it may be that a family and John Madden's empire, because he built an empire. Like, he's a really good businessman. Like, and from what I hear, but
He was very like Dan too. He didn't like to fly.
No, I hated it.
He had the bus and the whole thing, but
He busts everywhere. Yeah.
I think they knew because that Madden documentary came out in like around Christmas time, and
I
like
don't think
all
he was
this
doing well.
Yeah, like so it probably, if he had health problems and they looked at it and they're like, this is another year or whatever, maybe they kind of organized that documentary to come out, and and I think he passed like a week before they actually announced it, so maybe he was in a hospital bed or like hospice at that, or that kind of thing. So
seemed like a good guy, and talk about a football career to be able to go from player and then go to coach and then go to broadcaster and then seemingly, now I don't know the ins and outs of John Madden. I'm sure in this day and age anybody could tweet me or text me and say like he was the worst father. I don't know. I'm not talking about that.
No,
it just seems like everybody liked him. He seems like he was football Betty White.
I was gonna say, is he the Betty White?
Yeah, he looks like everybody loved him, and
he had a good personality, and he did good. And
I wonder what he was like to play for. Was he a hard coach, a caring coach, a mentor-style coach, a tough ass? What was he like?
I think he was known more for his broadcast because, from what I heard,
but he was a good coach, right? I mean, what was he?
He won
like?
the Super Bowl with the Raiders.
Yeah, he won the Super Bowl. Like, what was he? I wonder, what was he like on the field? Was he an ass? Like, when he hit you? Was he like was he a gentle giant? Like, what was?
Well, coach back in those days, I'm sure he was a little more hard nosed.
I can't picture John Madden being hard nosed though. That's my point.
Yeah.
Is I can't.
I don't know.
I've played enough of the game, and I still remember when it was such a big deal that he would be exiting the game, like his voice, because the first whatever seasons of Madden when you played it would be him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on the cover of the 2000 game. Like,
yeah, but
probably next year they'll put him on the cover for 2023.
They should. They should.
What a way to memorialize yourself in the fact that every generation will now know you, and they'll probably know you just for the game. But it's like if you were just the broadcaster. When did he stop broadcasting? In like the mid 90s? Was it
like 2000?
It was the 2000s that he stopped broadcasting. But I
want to say like 08 or something. Or 11.
I'm trying to remember exactly. I thought it was early 2000s. So anyway, but
you're probably right.
Most people eventually, with enough time, will forget broadcasters and coaches and things. It'll just be like old timey stuff, like But the Madden video game will probably live on for how long?
We were talking about that with Maisie, and Andrea and I were talking about the fact that I was playing it when he passed, right? And I was like, "Can you name
all the generations now?"
I mean, other than I shouldn't have played this game with Andrea because, of course, she's going to win. I was like, name somebody that you is touching your life while you're currently using their product and they pass away. And she goes, Steve Jobs. I go, okay, damn it. You got me. iPhone.
2009, he stopped broadcasting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was 08.
Wow.
I thought it was 08. But what's weird is that, like, she got me with the Steve Jobs one, but Madden still...
But it's got his name. Like, it's not called the Jobs.
Thank
you. It's called iPhone and Apple.
Yeah, that was my point, is that this is like when you talk to any kid, I believe that your sons, if they decide that they like football, which I think one of them
They'll
probably
eventually
will.
play Madden.
Right, and they will know who John Madden is, and that is a very weird, yes, it skews more male, it does, that's just the stereotype, but that is weird, because I don't think there are any little boys that are in middle school or high school. Let's go high school. There are no young men in high school right now that if I say, do you play Madden, that don't know what I'm talking about. Not one. Not one.
Yeah. It's made him infamous at this point, just from the video game. All right, EJ, what else you got?
Well, we already talked a lot about AB on the other shows, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
At this point, he said some BS story, which
he
no
went
one
to
buys.
a basketball game last night. He waved to the camera.
Brooklyn Nets game, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video of Jalen Hurt leaving the game at FedEx Field?
I did, and that railing fell over.
I sent a video to Sam that had a bunch of craziness that happened yesterday. Well, on Sunday.
Yeah.
Let me see. It has everything. It has that video in there as well as part of the package, because it's all the craziness that kind of happened on Sunday.
Was it the one from Facebook?
He remained
I think so, yes.
remarkably calm when the
stands collapsed.
Yeah, the railing fell over, and the fans that were leaning against it fell onto the field. And
They
basically,
almost crushed their own quarterback.
yeah,
I think I have it here. Let me see if
I
this
mean,
works.
it was close. If he was standing 5 feet to the left and it would have fallen on him, it could have injured him and ruined his career or at least the season or whatever.
Let's see if this is it here. There's I don't see.
He tries to punch him in the butt. That's
Which he probably would have an insane.
Oh, there it is.
yeah.
There it is, falling over.
He would have had an insane lawsuit, right? With suing, the team and the owner of the stadium, and if he got hurt doing and that fell on him, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
he,
absolutely.
That's that shouldn't happen. Where if people are leaning over.
Now, you and I are no strangers to working inside professional sporting stadiums.
No, yeah.
And before the renovation, if you had asked me if our beloved Orlando Citrus Bowl, Camping World, whatever you want to call it, it looked like it would fall on people and kill them, yeah.
yeah.
And I've been to other stadiums. I went to RFK
Yeah.
to see DC United play, MLS soccer team. It was even worse. At RFK was
Some
the
of these
most
stadiums are falling
disgusting
apart,
stadium.
yeah.
This stadium was so crazy bad. When we were walking up the stairs, I was like, is this safe? Like, it was like a haunted house.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
And they become decrepit,
Yeah.
and then they can't get the
The
funding.
Orange Bowl was horrible.
Yeah. I'm surprised there aren't more accidents at stadiums because
There probably are a lot
Yeah.
that we just don't
I
see,
know-
right?
Well, now with social media, you see everything, which
Yeah.
it's like anything
But
that
maybe it
falls
just
on-
doesn't. Okay, we
Yeah.
don't. It. You could see it, but maybe it just doesn't make the reel, right? I mean, there's so many other things happening right now. Like, which
Yeah.
which are you going to put on the reel? The scaffolding falling and people not really getting hurt, or the Spanish lady who pours the beer in the guy's face and then steps to the side so her husband can fight him?
Yeah,
Remember that video? Like, that was like
Well,
a big.
this may spur a bunch of other clips of stadiums falling apart.
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying? Because
That's
now
true,
it's
yeah.
popular. Like, that's what happens. The fights start, cause other people to post the fights,
Yeah.
and then that's what's popular. He wasn't hurt, and he just basically stepped aside and then, started picking up the fans.
And they were taking selfies. Like the security's trying to push them back into the stands. And they're like, no, I'm already down here. I'm going to take a selfie with Jalen Hurts.
It's.
I approve that.
Yeah,
I mean, you fell, right? I feel
Yeah,
like you
you
fell.
deserve
You
a
get a
picture.
selfie. Yeah, you fell.
I do not want to talk COVID at all.
Don't.
Because
Keep bringing it up.
You do
it
keep bringing
No.
it up. Do you still have it,
Go to
bro?
the next story.
the
Do you still have it?
You got 1 minute.
I want to do my Miami locker room. Come on.
I will. But I want to mention this because I find it odd because who are we talking to about Tom Brady being at the
EJ's getting mad because you're
awards.
burning his time.
That's fine.
Tom
we
Brady
can make
being
our own
at the
time.
awards.
EJ doesn't understand that we own this time first. We
Yeah, yeah,
gift
yeah.
it to him, but
When we were talking about Tom Brady and being around Dan Marino, and we were like, man, I'm surprised he wasn't wearing a mask. Just
oh
because
no, we're
Marino's-
talking to Kenny.
Kenny, yes.
And Kenny was working with Dan Marino, and Dan Marino was not a nice person.
So, no, but he was talking about these players, and especially Brady walking around with no mask and whatever. Who cares? But in a time, if your business, if you test positive for COVID and you can't play a game and you're out, you could potentially hurt your team and all this stuff. It seems like just purely business wise, I don't care if you're afraid of it, not afraid, whatever. Just business tells you don't get the COVID virus because it could affect my team and I could, I could sit out a week. It seems like the players aren't necessarily worried about that. For instance, Jalen Hurts, a bunch of fans fall down through onto the field, and then you're picking them up, but they want to take selfies and spit in your face, and you're like, hey buddy, you could have COVID and I need to play next week. And now I'm not scared of being harmed by it, but I'm scared of not playing next week.
Right. Yeah. And
so
my team and the headache.
and I'm trying to make the playoffs, and this,
Interesting.
So I
How do you
can't-
think about that?
So I can't get near you because I can't take the chance if you accidentally give
This
me
is
COVID.
my job, yeah.
You would. I'm surprised more players aren't when the people fall on the floor. I know it's his instinct to help them up, but then And you're trying to be, I guess you're just trying to be nice. And if you're like, hey, get away from me, then that gets on social media. And we're like, look,
Unclean.
That's a pretty interesting.
maybe he's like,
I didn't think about that.
if I say get away from me, then that's going to be on social media, and then people will attack me and it'll hurt my image.
Who gives it that much thought though? Because it's split second, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right, I
I'm
don't know.
sorry, social media, I can't do nothing. Stand still, like, what do you do?
I'm just, you would think that the play, like a Tom Brady would be in a mask away from everybody
Yeah, I would
because he's
think
like,
that
I
too.
can't get COVID
Yeah.
because I can't sit out. I need to be there because my backup is far less good than I am.
I have thought the thing. Okay,
Like, I
this
need
is
to
gonna
play.
this is gonna sound maybe a little weird, but it goes along with exactly what you're saying. I had a discussion with my wife because when you're a performer on television, and we have a lot of wrestlers that live around here for WWE, tons of them. Like probably 100 of them live around here, and you see them in this Publix all the time. But then you see them without, like, they're just walking around without a mask. Not a big deal. I'm not saying that they can do whatever they got to do.
And you're not gonna get in public.
I agree,
Yeah.
but you think though, like,
Then they'd
when
be
you-
extra careful.
Yeah,
just for business.
because you got to see them on Mondays and Fridays, right?
And they can't perform
and they
if they
got to
got-
already travel. So I would imagine that why wouldn't you be like just
Right.
ultra safe? I don't know.
But
Maybe
you know
you're
what?
just over it.
I
Maybe
say
you're
the
just
same
like,
thing. I don't wear a mask in Publix, and if I got COVID, which I did, but I got it from here, not the Publix.
Well, we don't know where we got
You're
it.
right, but
I think I got
Everyone
mine.
speaks in absolutes.
And
I don't
I'm
even know if
pretty
I was the first one to have it.
I'm
I was
pre-
just the first one to test.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I
think you got
got
it
it
from
from the
fish.
toilet here.
And but on that level,
that's science.
the thing is, we're on such a small level. I'm thinking on the Tom Brady level, when millions are
Yes.
involved,
Yeah.
that's when I'm just surprised you're not more.
It's the same thing when Lady Gaga's
business.
got a
Yeah.
concert coming up, and you see her. She's at Whole Foods, and she has no mask on. I'm not saying that good or bad. I'm not talking about COVID. I'm
With
just saying.
with that much money involved,
Or did you just get it, or you're just like me? Like,
yeah.
like what happened?
Yeah. It's like it seems like when there's millions of dollars involved in you missing something that you just be ultra. But maybe it's just like, you
Or
roll the dice
maybe
or whatever. I
everything
don't know.
is just the same as us.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just more money.
yeah,
No
yeah,
different,
yeah,
just
yeah.
more money.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, EJ, what was your last story?
Like Dan was playing Madden when this happened. I was on ESPN doing research for my bit, and the locker room
believe
at
that.
Miami was the front page story. And my name is the locker that they show on the screen when you open the thing up. See, like the
so
craft
this
on the
is
left-hand
just
side.
for you to brag about your locker being shown
Well,
on the screen?
Well, how often are you on the cover of ESPN?
So it's right there. It's
Samantha,
On the left-hand
it's-
side. That
it's-
was my locker when we played for the national championship.
So that
team.
so the odds are, if you look at our screen right now, twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive, to the left you'll see AFTO, and that's your locker,
yeah,
right? I
Number
see it.
85, yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
That's
I'm not impressed by it, but I see it.
I'm surprised because there's so
I'm
many
joking, dude.
other
I'm giving
bigger
you
stars.
crap.
Like, why not use? I mean, who else? Name the stars that were on that team that
Well,
year.
Ken Dorsey just came through the door, and then like you wait a little bit, like Vince Wilfork runs to that door, and Ed Reed's on the cover. You got Wilson McGahee there, Brett Romberg, who played for the Jaguars. He was their center for a little bit. But like if you keep scrolling through it, it shows the whole locker room and
Is
all
it
the
just?
stories. There's Ed Reed right there.
Is it just
There's
because they
Shockey.
put your locker near the
There's
bathroom?
Vince Wilfork.
Like,
Actually, that's true.
Like-
My locker was near the showers.
so you got the worst
Oh,
locker,
you got the
but,
poop locker.
but
You were in that movie too, I feel like.
but when they're
Poop locker.
filming everybody walk through the door, you're like your poop locker's right there.
Yeah.
So
Why weren't
Well,
you
no,
in-
that door that they were coming from was from the practice field. That's on the other side of the locker room.
Okay.
Like if you see how this locker room set up, the door they were coming through is on the left-hand side with the little sign above the door. On the
Why
left-hand
is
side.
this
the TV
news?
is in the middle of the room.
Why? I'm being dead serious. Why is this news? It's a locker room for a team that happened 40 friggin' years. Like, who cares? I don't care. I don't give a damn about this.
20th anniversary.
Yeah, but
and
Miami
the reason why they're bringing it
sucks
up-
now. They absolutely suck now. So why is
They
this
are
even?
horrible.
Why does this even matter?
is
They didn't even play their bowl game because they COVIDed out.
Right.
'cause,
So this story
yeah.
is a remember win.
it's
Hey,
EJ?
That's
it's
EJ's
important
whole
for
life
me.
is remember when.
Oh my God, Lee.
He's the Al Bundy of podcasts.
Sam.
Like, listen, look at Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in a single
No,
game.
this is my point.
EJ played for UM and's got a ring.
This is
And
my
a poop
point.
locker.
This is my point. I'm
Yeah,
not
the poop
saying.
locker.
I don't want to diminish. He won a national championship, and that is to be celebrated.
I was the worst player in the best team in
Stop.
college.
Don't
So
say
we
that.
don't need to bring it up every
I'm not
episode.
bagging on you. I'm just saying.
Can you
when-
say that you won if you just sat there
Yes.
and watched?
Yeah. In
I
fact,
have
he
one
it was.
yard. I
In fact, it was the easiest win for him ever. He just sat there.
I watched it. I mean, did I win?
Right.
You won.
I mean,
Well, you weren't on the
Get into
roster, though.
team.
did the water boy win? You know what I'm saying? Like, did the
Where
equipment?
does it stop? Yeah.
Yeah. Where you know?
Look, I'm not saying I don't
I
want
have
to
a
take.
stat. That's
I
all
want to
that
give
matters.
him the love of the national championship. My point is that ESPN, wherever this is from, so somebody decided that it would be interesting enough to do a rendition, like literally a model of a locker room. How is that cool? I don't give a damn where their equipment
Yeah.
was. How is that even entertaining? It's not like they had. It's not like a secret locker room that had secret doors or it had some sort of Illuminati or
Well,
there was.
It's not there anymore. They renovated it.
Yeah,
so it's
because
not
it
like
sucked.
that.
It was a crappy locker room. Knock it
It
down. So
was.
why is this even news? It's not like it's like the old Manchester United Stadium that was like 190 years old. It was a castle or something. It was a locker room. Why is that even
But it
a
was
thing?
my home for like 4 years, and it was probably the best times of my life, and I want to go back.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, I
Bundy.
understand for
You're
you. I'm
Bundy
just
in
saying the ESPN guy that wrote that is.
That's awesome. Sad.
Are there going to be like we're breaking all records with this locker room story we did? People can't get enough of the rendition of the locker room you did.
That's a good question. Do the cheerleaders get a ring?
I thought they
Only
do.
if they get fingered.
Wait, I got to see the timestamp on that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just mad at the story.
The cheerleaders don't get rings, right? No way.
I saw that there's a new cheer. Like now that I've never really noticed that cheerleading.
Does the band
squads-
get a ring?
No. And
Right,
I was
where does
in the
it
band.
stop?
Look, I was in the
Manager
band,
does,
and we don't get
the
no.
trainers do.
Okay, so where else? Like what and to what? Like where does it
the
stop?
film guy got one. The equipment trainer got one. The trainers that help with the team. The doctor that usually looked at everyone's knees and stuff like that. The
Doctor?
masseuse got one.
No,
Masseuse!
no.
Oh, Watson got her.
What?
What was that?
He doesn't know. Let's leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
It's COVID brain.
It's unfortunate awesome.
Just
Just
today on Facebook. I'm looking forward to that.
So, do everybody on the
that?
roster? What if someone got injured?
What happened? What happened? He just got in trouble. You got yelled at.
If you're
No,
not okay,
Melissa, my new boss is here.
let's say
Well,
you were on the
Toshiba's replacement?
you're on the team, you get injured, right? And then you are not even at the game. And you're just watching from home. You get a ring, right? Because technically you're on. Does the practice squad get a ring?
I was on the practice squad basically. Like there's a scout
So,
team,
yes.
and that's what I basically did most of my 4 years there.
Okay, so everybody on the practice squad.
How many rings are we making? That's what I want to.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
give me the.
Is it
totes.
hundreds?
Yeah.
I want to say 200 probably.
That's
'Cause
too many
there's
rings.
there's about
There should be
80 guys
18
on the
rings.
roster.
That's it. 18, 20 rings
yeah.
is call it a day. 20 rings.
And only the offense gets it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I get the
Yeah.
the rings
The
are too.
offense and the head
Defense,
coach.
sorry,
no one
defense,
else.
too fat for
Defense
rings.
gets an anklet.
Yeah. Only the starting offense and the head coach get a ring.
No, I'd
Nobody
say skinny
else.
defense gets it. Anybody that's doing things on defense, now if you're just big and
Okay,
fat and
yeah,
you're just
yeah,
standing
yeah.
there,
No linemen,
no,
yeah.
no, in the whole like, but
skill
hey, we gotta,
position.
what do we got to do the
So
what is
Ed
it?
Reed
We
doesn't
gotta,
get a ring.
no, but we got to do the swimming.
You
What
know,
is it? You got to do
only-
the hand moves, do the swimming. That's silly.
Only the quarterback and the head coach. That's it. Or get
You
a
know
ring.
what? I like that.
Nobody else.
You know what ring should be? Ring should be performance based, just like the rest of us out here. So if you catch a touchdown, you get a ring.
Okay, all right.
You got
I have
100
1
yards, you get a
so I
ring.
deserve a ring.
Hey,
right?
your completion percentage 65%, man. You were lighting it up. You get a ring, right? You get a ring
You
based
didn't
on
play
what
well.
you do.
No ring.
Yeah, if you didn't, what'd you do? I didn't get in the game. I'm sorry, you don't get a ring, man. But hey, you're on the championship team, but you don't get a ring.
All right, EJ, we went too long, so now we have to
Yeah.
go further.
Oh.
yeah, which is
Well, we can talk
unfortunate.
about the national championship game.
All right, talk about it.
The rematch of Georgia versus Alabama in Indianapolis, which is going to be interesting because they lost. The Georgia team lost in the SEC championship, but now they're going to play them again in the national championship because they beat Cincinnati and Michigan respectively.
So obviously, there's a lot of competition between Alabama and Georgia, but I've gotten emails and text messages from people that didn't understand the fact that Alabama was an underdog in this, and the line came out at plus 2.5.
Right.
And people are telling me bet Alabama, bet Alabama. There's no reason. I'm surprised they're an underdog. Like this should be even or Alabama should be favored based on their past game that Alabama won. What do you think?
I would take Alabama, but it's hard to beat a team twice in a season. That's usually the hard thing to do. Like usually if it's a rematch, usually the other team wins.
They're going to get your number, right?
adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that the Alabama can make their adjustments as well? I mean,
Who's the better coach in your opinion, EJ?
Oh, Saban for sure is the better coach.
I agree.
Even though I don't like him because of the thing he did to Miami Dolphins 15 years ago, but yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. It was
well, he was the coach of the Dolphins, then he got the hell out.
yeah. And then he's like, I forgot about
no,
that.
thank you.
Which,
honestly,
do not want that.
I mean, can you argue that he made a wrong decision?
no, he made the right decision,
No,
but I
he
still think
made
it's
the right
crappy.
decision,
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
I agree
He
with
left
you.
and won how many national championships? I was like, or you could have been the coach of the stinky Dolphins. Good luck with that. So I would argue that he made the correct decision.
Yeah,
there.
he did.
Do you got anything for nerd job or for the nerd part? I'm sorry.
For anything that you do.
That's a Freudian
Well, I
slip.
heard
It's like,
you
is
guys
this
watch
bitch gonna do
Boba Fett.
anything?
I heard you guys watch Boba Fett, and are we allowed to spoil that, or is it one of those things?
I don't think yet, right? It's been out a month.
Yeah, let's not.
No, it's been
I
out
haven't
since
watched
the yeah.
It's in the end of December. It's not out on.
I can't get Andrea to watch it.
I will say that my sons liked the first episode of Mandalorian far more than the first episode of Boba Fett. And
I was gonna tell you wait on Boba Fett and binge it because I think it's a better like all together than waiting week to week. Mandalorian is a better week to week.
You're
show,
the
but I
second
think
person that has
all
told
together-
me that it would have been better as a movie. Like,
Yeah,
you're
I
the
would like
second
it-
person that's told me that Boba Fett would have been better if they just cut a little bit and squished it into like a nice little supplemental Star Wars tale. And Andrea won't watch it with me, man. And I don't have I would only watch it with her so we could have something to kick around and talk about. It's just not. It doesn't light the fires for me like Mandalorian did. And it has everything to do, man, you nailed it. It has everything to do with that guy looking gross. I don't like a gross Mandalorian. I like a nice...
Well, they explained that because he was in the Sarlacc pit.
I know,
from
I
Return of the
understand.
Jedi.
I just want him nice. I want him good looking like the other Mandalorian.
well,
I want him with the little mustache.
he didn't even take off his mask for the most part. So it was like
But when
the
he did,
character,
you were like,
yeah.
wow, I'm
Yeah.
impressed. You're very attractive,
But he was-
exotic.
It was off-putting.
It's the Viper from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we're like, hello.
It's just when he's got his armor on, my sons are interested.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
Armor's
interested.
always better.
I only want to
Yeah.
watch this stuff with my sons. I'm not interested in any
Nothing
of this nerd
sucks
stuff.
more when you're a little boy than when you're playing a video game like Metroid, and then you see the armor, and you're like, that's the coolest armor in the world, and then they take their helmet off, and it's a girl. And they're like, oh my god, I can't play this game anymore. Metroid's a girl. And it's like, everybody's like, it's not
Yeah.
called Metroid.
See,
And
I
you're like,
thought
I don't.
that was cool with Samus. being
Not
a
me,
girl.
buddy,
'Cause
not
It was
me.
a change of
Not me
pace
and
for
every other
everything.
American male. When
Yeah.
we saw that helmet come off, we were like, no!
Yeah, it's like
You didn't put the Justin Bailey code in and get her in the bikini while she's run around with all the weapons.
No, I just screamed incorrectly, Metroid is a girl, and I ran to my dad.
you know what?
That's exactly what I did.
We ruined it because every time one of these characters take off their mask, they're a white fat blob.
Darth Vader's a white fat blob.
RoboCop.
Oh, white fat blob.
You're like, oh, white fat blob.
Boba Fett, he's a little more brown, but he's still...
He's a little brownie
Brown
blob.
blob.
Yeah, brownie blob. Even though he's kind of in shape, but he's
No,
bald and he's wrinkly.
No, his face is too it's too round. He looks like King Kong Bundy. Got a tan.
All right, well, any more, EJ?
Okay, the last one I have, I guess, because it just came out today. I just got the news. Morbius was supposed to come out at the end of this month, January 28th. But because Spider-Man is doing so good at the box office, and they don't want to have it compete against it, they moved it to April 1st. So it's the 6th time they've moved that movie.
This is he's like a vampire-y
The
guy?
living vampire.
Yeah.
Jared
Okay.
Leto, the living vampire. Yeah.
It doesn't look bad. And look, man, I'm the probably on the show the harshest critic of Marvel movies. Where are
Yeah.
you guys at? You guys like them, right?
Did you guys go see the Spider-Man movie over the break?
I
I
to
heard
see it.
everything that's on social media says it's awesome, right? I
My
hear
daughter sat through the whole thing, and she's on the spectrum, and I'm very proud of her. She sat through the whole thing.
Do you need to know a lot about the different Like, if I walk into this completely blind, which I am because I've avoided these movies because they're not my thing. If I walk into this Spider-Man movie and watch it, I know I'm going to enjoy it because I do like special effects and I like Spider-Man. But am I going to know what's going on? Am I going to understand what I'm enjoying?
You'll understand everything. You'll miss some of the little nuances and the little things that happen. Like, there's some Easter eggs that you'll miss, but overall, it's still a very enjoyable movie. Like,
Okay.
it exceeds my expectations, and I even had high expectations for it.
Okay. I will gladly check it out then because I do love a good Spider-Man. It's just...
When can I watch it from home? Because
They're pushing it back. That's
Yeah,
the reason why Morbius got moved back, because it's so good. It was taking up screens, and they didn't want Morbius to have less screens. And that's the reason why.
I mean, I got a link for it. If you want.
well, I mean,
You can watch it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch it. You can watch it.
they're pushing it back, but not to the same standards it used to be, where there was a long time theater run.
No,
and
it's
then,
not like that anymore.
So
Yeah, it's not like 6 months after you can get it on DVD. Now it's like probably 3 months, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 90 days.
It just depends on the studio.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, I think it's 90 days. And they can do basically whatever they want. But like
Right.
for the newest, what's the newest one?
Well, The Matrix, they
Yes.
released the same day on HBO Max and in the theaters.
Yeah,
and
but
I think that hurt The Matrix.
HBO Max is, I enjoy some HBO Max.
Me
did
too.
it?
They
did
got
it,
good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you say it hurt the Matrix. Only more people watched it, right? I mean, releasing it on demand.
I
on
think he means the
HBO.
box office numbers.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah,
box office,
it definitely hurt the box office numbers, but it didn't hurt people seeing the movie. It made it more available
Now,
for
Right.
people.
in another feather in Andrea's cap of being strange, she wants to see the new Matrix movie, but she hasn't seen any of the old Matrix movies. And I'm like, well, you're not going to like this
I
at
only
all.
watched the first one.
I loved the
Yeah,
Matrix.
the first one's the only one worth watching.
I loved them.
No, they're all good.
I loved them when they came out. I was a sucker for them, but I don't know if I want to go back watch.
I don't
three
think they
Ma-
hold up. I think if you've never watched any of them and you go back and try and watch them now, I do not think they hold up because
Okay.
I watched the first one like 2 years ago and I was like, I don't
I
get what the
remember
hype
you doing
is.
that. Yeah.
And I gave it a shot. Like I thought it would,
remember that.
I might enjoy it, but I was like, overrated in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess, watching it.
I'm sure it was cutting edge at the time and mind blowing at the time, but
That
now you're
one-
watching it in 2020 or whatever, and
Well,
it's like,
that technology of, him
missing the bullets,
missing the
Yeah.
bullets and the camera like spinning around.
Right.
That
People
was
have-
cutting edge.
Well, I
cutting
saw
edge
that
at
on
the time.
Freaking Unleash, the Korn music video.
Yeah.
So that's
People
the
have
fill I
been
need.
It was about the
effing
same
it
time,
out.
99, bullet time, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like, when you saw Jurassic Park for the first time in the 90s and you saw CGI
How do they make
dinosaurs.
that?
But I think
You know, it was
Jurassic
a-
Park still holds up. It still looks good.
Ooh, I
Totally
didn't
agree.
like it.
Really?
Now, it's still, I think that's nostalgia because if you see CGI and what they do now compared to what that Jurassic Park was, it still holds up where it's not corny, but it's like they're so much better now and more realistic. Like,
You know what I
A
care?
lot of that was animatronic, though. I think that's why I like it better because it looks more realistic.
Okay.
It was a mix of
Jurassic-
practical and
Yeah, it was a mix,
CGI.
yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's your eyeballs. Like, for instance,
I do have bad eyes.
I think I do too because, or at least I can't download to my brain, like, okay, Transformer movies. Those are so hard for me to watch.
Yeah.
Because the fight scenes are so like they're beautiful, right? Don't get me wrong, I like that kind
They're
of stuff.
too digital.
But I
though.
can't, like, I lose a connection there. Like, my eyes won't hold it.
Okay, yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to process. Like, oh, what's that guy? He's flying over here. He's doing that. Oh, the guy, he hit him with that sword, or he flew into that building. And, like, it's very difficult for me. So maybe it's a little bit of that. I don't know.
all right.
Good segment today. You did a good job today,
had to
man.
power through
Thank
that
you,
last.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you did a nice job. You put some time and effort
Yeah.
into it. I like it.
Well, besides
Thank
the
you, I
poop
appreciate
locker.
that.
Yeah. What?
Well, I
The
guess I'll
locker
see you in
room-
2 weeks then, guys.
Look, the
Yeah.
locker room thing is cool. It is cool, and it's a fun fact that they actually use your locker, and you should screenshot that and send it to all your teammates and see if they clown on you.
Well, they do. There's a group of former players from the Orange Bowl that it's old Facebook group, and yeah, they saw it. And of course, I was like, "Yeah, I made the cover of ESPN, and I didn't earn it." So, yeah.
And then they all hurt your
Oh,
feelings.
man.
Oh, man, nothing changes. I like it.
It's a bunch of middle-aged dads holding on,
Yeah.
doing the Bundy. Is it okay? I'm not insulting EJ here, but
No,
Yeah,
but
sure.
you're going
Just
to.
go ahead, get it out of your way.
is it sad when someone looks back at a
Awesome.
time in their life and
It's-
says that's the best time of my entire life because it insinuates
Yes.
that you have no
That you hate your life now.
or
It's awesome
or you
sad.
have no hope that it's going to ever
better.
get as good.
It's awesome
Yeah.
sad because
Which
it
is
was
kind of
awesome.
realistic. It's because I
Glory
agree with
days.
you that
Glory day nostalgia.
that will be the most awesome time in your life.
wow.
Chances are just by statistics, you know, you like
Yeah.
what
At
are
least
the
I wasn't wearing a bear suit in my amazing days.
I don't look back and say that
Yeah,
was,
he
I
doesn't.
hated that
Yeah,
time.
he hated it.
So that's different. If I look back
but
and
you're
said that was the best time of my
confident
life, it would be sad, and people would be like, "Oh,
Yeah, if you were like, it'll never get better. And I'm like, oh god, this guy.
I hated all that time. Like, so I do not look fondly back at that. I do not say, "Oh, I wish I was back." Nothing. I don't look back at my high school.
doesn't.
I'm glad I'm gone. I look back at my college. I'm glad I'm the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be in the past at all. And
all right.
but I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm just saying, looking back at a particular time in your life that's 20 years ago and saying that's the best it'll ever be is sad, right?
that's sad,
So
yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
sad? Does that fall into
Yeah.
awesome sad?
That's why I never say that. I always wake up and I'm like, well, today's gonna be pretty bad. And then when it's okay, I'm like,
Okay.
all
Not
right,
bad.
I'm gonna go smoke weed.
All right, EJ. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Love you guys.
All right, buddy.
see ya.
Love you too, man. Be good. Nice job today.
All right.
Yeah, we gotta take a break. And first one of the year.
I think
Ready?
we're
Collective.
done.
No, yeah, we're done.
Oh,
We're
we're out
ending
of
the
here?
show.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
then we can do a collective. 1, 2, 3.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
And this gentleman's going to be at the Hard Rock Live on Friday. Get your tickets now because I guarantee it's going to sell out.
Indeed.
And I'll.
And we are obligated to say that it is for mature audiences. We have been told to say that.
On the line with us, Bob Saget. How you doing, Bob?
I'm good. It's so funny because I have the most immature act that there is. It's not even an act; it's just me. But I think I've matured. I'm a grown man now, so I got some facial hair. I manscape now and then, but otherwise I do what I can.
So,
But,
Bob, I got to ask you because we did some commercials for your show with Hard Rock Live.
Yes.
And in the commercial copy, they made sure to tell us you have to put it's for mature audiences.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say that in the in the copy to tell people. And I'm like, and the first thing I thought was like, people know Bob Saget's comedy by now. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? They're not
Yeah.
confused by Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos.
No, we're intelligent,
Yeah.
and we know the difference between when he's doing Dad Bob, and when he's doing, like Crazy Bob.
Well,
yeah, I'm a chameleon. If I've got kids in the audience, I can't do that show. I just I make them leave, or I do the show and it's 6 minutes long.
But Bob,
Yeah, but it's funny. They have all different disclaimers. I had one that I have them use sometimes, or 17 years old with a good fake ID.
But by this time, Bob, does that reputation of the clean Bob Saget, that the beloved dad, I feel like now in 2022, people know you, Bob, and they know your comedy, and they know, and it almost went to the extreme where for a while there was this urban legend that, oh, have you seen Bob Saget's do stand up? He's so filthy, it's unbelievable.
Right.
It became too far.
It is like
because
people built you up to sound as if you're comedy. Like you go there and you're gonna hear like literally the
worst.
worst and most filthy
Right,
thing, and I'm like,
you're
no.
going to turn into skeletons like in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how did that happen, Bob?
Well, I've been doing stand-up since I'm 17 years old, 15 years old, really. But 17, I won a radio contest at a station in Philly called WMMR. And I was a big fan of Martin Mull, who did comedy songs.
Yeah.
And I'm actually doing directing a documentary about him right now.
No way.
Awesome.
Steve Martin and Eric Idle and David Allen Greer. It's really cool. But
That's amazing.
but because he's one of the people that influenced me a lot to write good comedy songs, and so my act used to be all that. So I was like 17, and I won a radio contest with a song called Bondage. So now if a 17-year-old kid is on stage singing a song called Bonders, there's something wrong with him. And that was me.
Yeah, well, but it's cool that you have done so many different things. And like the guys, we were all sitting in the office having lunch, and we pulled up the original documentary from Temple, Through Adam's Eyes, that you won.
Oh, guys.
And we watched it, and we saw that you won the Emmy for it.
I won the student Oscar.
Oscar,
and
that's
that was my nephew.
Yeah.
That was 7 years old that had his face reconstructed, and it was very touching. It was him. He was just an amazing kid.
Yeah, and it's so cool though that like, and that was so serious, right? So we're watching this during lunch, and we're seeing this, and we're seeing these different facets of you and what you do and what you're into. You know, you have the podcast, you've done blue comedy, you've done clean comedy, you've
Directed
done
movies,
corny comedy, you've done the clip shows before they were even called clip shows, right?
Singing competition.
Yeah, singing competitions, song parodies.
Yeah, there was no Wi-Fi when I was.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, which do you enjoy more, or is it just all of it, and it's always going to be all of it until you're gone? Is that the vibe? You're always.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't understand retirement, so I'm never going to be done. You know, I have friends. I have a friend, thank God, Norman Lear is 99. The guy, I'm able to smoke cigars with him. Right now we're not, because we're kind of taking it low, because there's a new variant cigar that apparently is very quick burning.
Oh.
But you have to smoke it through a mask, and he doesn't want to do that. But he's a sage, you know, and he never stops working. He's producing 3 shows right now. He's 99, but he's Norman Lear. I am of the mindset, I've always been a workaholic. I love directing. I'm working on a new project now. I love acting. We got a movie that'll be coming out. It used to be called Blue Iguana when we shot it in the Cayman Islands, but thank God they changed the name to Over Your Dead Body, so that'll be coming out later this year. And I've just been on tour like a banshee. I started going on tour when, at first I hadn't done stand-up for about 9-10 months after March 2020, because that's when the world
That was it.
that was a great.
We're from Florida, Bob. We don't
never
believe
shut
in that.
down.
Oh, I've been coming to. Are you kidding? You're the first place I went. My agent said, "Go to Florida, Texas."
Yeah.
I said, "Is that a city? Is that a new city?" I've been all through Florida. In fact, I'm coming Friday, of course, to you guys.
Yep.
And then the next night, I'm in Jacksonville. It's my 3rd time in Jacksonville this year.
Nice.
Or last year. So, oh God, the year changed. What do I do now?
Yeah, we were just talking about how stupid that is. It's you. They were 3 very close together. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
Well,
So, I mean, I've always played Florida. I'm actually going to be in West Palm Beach and at the end of the month, because
Nice.
I'm just poaching Florida. And then,
Well, we're
and I'll
open,
be
baby.
A lot
Yeah.
of venues open here.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing
I was
things.
I love it. I was in Austin, Texas a couple weeks ago, played the Paramount Theater. I'm doing a lot, and I'm not stopping stand-up. I'm going to do a new special. So right now, I would say my favorite thing is, it's always what I'm doing at the moment. So I love stand-up more now than I ever have, because I actually have a purpose, and that is to somehow figure out, how do I entertain a couple thousand people or a couple hundred people? Well, it's not a couple hundred, it's always more, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever number of people it is that may think differently. A lot of places you'll go, everybody kind of thinks the same way. It depends on where you are. You know, I was in Omaha. You had kind of one way of thinking, a little more woke people, some more conservative, and, you know, the extremes of either side don't really help a comedian too much if they get angry. So I don't want anger. I just want, if you're not happy, you get your money back. These other people are going to have fun, but I'm not making fun of anybody for what they believe, unless it's like nuts, unless they're telling me, you know, if there are people that'll tell you. I used to have a joke that men can breastfeed. I was like starting out, one of my jokes, men can breastfeed. I read that. Okay, I wrote it down, and then I read it, so it has to be true. And that's kind of where we're at. You know, you could write something down and just say, oh, I read that. You know, it's just anything. You know, that chair is a glass of water. You know, oh, okay. But I also want to have fun with it all, and I like silly comedy. That's why it's so funny it says for mature audiences, because it ain't... some of it's mature, some of it is.
It's funny because it's not even like going back to the urban legend. It's not even that like it's not like you'd be like, oh my God, I've never heard these things before.
I'm less of that. I don't even. Some people go gynecological in their dialogue. I'm like, wow. Nikki Glazer's a friend of mine. I'm like, Nikki, wow.
Yeah,
I remember when I was like that. I did that on an HBO special, and I got in trouble for that.
Yeah. Like we've had Nikki on the show, and then Sam and I just saw her, and it's funny because
she's awesome.
She's dirtier
so
than
awesome.
you, Bob.
Yeah, she is awesome. But
she's dirtier, and she's so likable. Those are the people that I flock to. I mean, I have different. Like I do my podcast. That's another way of connecting. It does well. Not as good as you guys, because you guys, you're calling yourselves mediocre.
You're lying. It's not true. Your podcast is a beast.
You just talked to BJ Novak. I've been seeing the episodes, and I'm sure you have access to the biggest celebrities because you've been in show business for so
You're
long.
Bob Saget, for Christ's
sake. You could just call anybody and have them on your show, which
they won't. Not everybody will do it. Some people don't, and I don't. I look in the mirror in the morning and I go, I'm Bob Saget, for Christ's sakes. I do that every
I was
day.
going to say, who's turned down
The
Bob
first thing I
Saget's
say
podcast?
before I shave my chest, that's the first thing I say.
Yeah, who's turned you down, Bob, where you called up and wouldn't do Bob Saget's
Tell
podcast?
Oprah, never heard back.
Well, Bob, this brings up an interesting question that I had when I knew we were going to talk to you, because we've met you before years ago in the radio days when you were here in Orlando, and you're super nice and approachable, but you're also one of the most famous people I've ever met because I grew up watching you. I'm 40 years old, like it was prime time,
Right.
and everybody in my demographic knows Bob Saget.
Yeah, and this is not meant to be disrespectful, but we are not Alfonso people like my daughter is. I'm a Bob Saget man because I was raised that way.
So
Right.
Bob, it's got to be hard for a person that is as famous and as recognizable as you and as approachable as you are, because you're a super nice person, and I've met you before, and you're very approachable.
We
very
went to
nice.
Club Paris with him. I don't know if you remember that, Bob, but we went to Club Paris here in town.
It was 15.
Oh my God, I do remember that.
It was me and
I'm
you.
scared right now.
Me and you standing at the door at Club Paris, and we were making fun of Club Paris, and we were making jokes and crapping all over it because it was an abomination, and we went in and we partied.
But we also saw
And
so many
it
people
closed down instantly, like a week later.
Yeah,
Club Paris was gone.
So how is it, Bob, going through life being that approachable, and because that's your perception that people can probably go up and take a picture with you, talk to you and stuff, that's going to be rough as a human being just trying to go through life. Is that, am I right about that? Is it hard to go
depends. You go through phases, and my fame's different than other people's. I know some actor who's very smart. I'm trying to think who it was. Was it Keanu? I can't remember, but some actor said, and it's hard to say actor and smart all the time in the same sentence, but and I'm an actor and I'm not very smart, but someone said, I've decided not, and it becomes news because there's nothing to talk about except everything that's wrong and terrible. So this will be news that they're not going to shake hands anymore or sign autographs or take pictures, but they'll have a conversation with you if it's interesting. And I found that kind of interesting, but that could that's like 19 hours.
Right.
Yeah. So can you go out, Bob, and just live? I mean, I feel like you'd be inundated.
I live my life. I also, because of L.A. and restrictions and stuff, there's only a few restaurants that we can even go to. So many businesses got hurt, as you know, in this thing. Not in Florida, because yes, in Florida, I know people that close places in Florida.
Yeah, they're doing
it. Yeah, and that's why I'm excited to come back. I mean, the Hard Rock was closed for a while. Probably 10 minutes, but it was closed for. Oh hell, let's just put a show on. But put up the chicken wire. We're going back to the old days. Yeah. But I just think people are people until they give me a reason to go, okay, thank you so much, have a good one. Or if I'm talking to them, or while I'm talking to them, I actually see the green, what you see on a biology show of the COVID, that little green spiky thing floating out of their mouth. If it's like floating around them like a moon around a planet, then I know they probably might have an infection, so I probably back off, Let me take the selfie from over here because this green thing that came out of you is still floating near me.
Exactly.
Because people are carriers anyway
Yeah.
of anything. I mean, you can get fleas from somebody.
We just got over it. All three of us got the
COVID,
Omicron. We got the
yeah.
old Omicron.
Yeah, it's very popular. It's doing very well.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of stock in it, like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It is not good. It does not feel good. I had it. And,
That's not good.
I don't know if I had Delta or I might have had a combo. Maybe at one point they were working together. I don't know. I think at one point Omicron was opening for Delta, but then Omicron got so big, Delta's opening now.
Yeah, they switched you're right. They switched the lineup because it wasn't landing well with the audience. He's exactly right.
No, bigger rooms, they said. We want to play bigger rooms.
But,
We
Bob,
want to do arenas.
Bob, I
But
got.
also, people think I'm dirty, but they don't now, because the way I'm doing it now, it's kind of I'm me more than I've ever been, so it's kind of a combo platter of what it's like to be out on stage. You're in front of whatever the capacity is of a Hard Rock Friday, for example. I don't know what it is, 1,500, 1,200, 1,700.
Yeah.
And or 500, depending on what happens and somebody gets scared that day because some news report comes out. That's been happening, too. Shows have been half full, a third full. People buy tickets. They don't show up. Sometimes they don't want their money back. They just don't want to leave. You know, it depends on the age of the person.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I've been
Even
hearing
in
that a lot.
Florida and Texas.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot from other people where they say that, it'll be like a sellout or it'll be like close to a sellout. But then when you look out, and you can imagine that for a comedian, you asked about the numbers because you want to know what you're up against, right? And then they say, yeah, we're good.
Always.
And then you go out there and nobody's out there and they bought the tickets and they don't even want their money back. And that's been happening a lot.
Yeah.
And I, because I'm 65 now, which is really weird.
Oh, you're
because,
not. What?
Yeah, I am. My testicles are 40. I had them redone, but I had them pinned back. But
I need that. I got a varicocele.
I'll do it.
I got a varicocele on my left side, and
Come
it's
on.
pulling it down, and they're
Come
getting
on.
longer as I get old.
Yeah, I got a kit in the car. I'll fix it. If you come to the show, I can do it. It's in my trunk.
Quick, it's
We'll
quick.
just nip them up. We'll pick them up in the back, and then kind of. You can hook your keys on them too. I do a whole thing. There's 3 different options. You can have it polyglycoded if you want.
I like that. Yeah, let's just
That used to be a thing.
give me option 3.
But the thing is, with audiences, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to entertain that audience to the best of my ability for what's there, for whatever's there. So if it's half full, I go, wow, that's disappointing. And then all of a sudden, 200 more people show up because they decide at the last minute, what the hell? When are we going to see Bob? You know, he might die from COVID. Let's go see him.
Don't say that.
Bob, I got to ask you a director question because you directed a movie that's fascinating to me because I love the movie. It became like a pop culture comedy that everybody watches. The movie's Dirty Work, and it starred Artie Lang and Norm Macdonald. And the only thing I can think
That's
of
a
is
legendary movie.
how hard was it to direct Artie Lang and Norm Macdonald in a movie?
It was very easy.
Really?
They're my friends.
I told you,
I mean, I got Artie the job. I said, and Norm and I said, first thing I get sad because I love Norm very much.
Yeah,
man.
And I met Norm. Norm was 17. I'm the first comic he ever saw in Ottawa, Canada. I was 21 or 22, and all these years I kept going, how can you not be older than me? And then the last, we were working on something, and it's unfortunate. I was in contact with him a little bit, mostly texting near the end. But when we did the movie, the hardest part was, it's always hard when you're working with writers, especially comedy.
Yeah.
Everybody takes it really seriously because the goal is to make the funniest movie ever made.
And that's
the odds
hard.
of that,
That's hard.
it's really hard. And the movie, we had some great people on it. George Folsey edited it. He had edited Animal House. He did a really good job. But everybody was really good, and it was Chris Farley's last movie, and he was unbelievable in it. He was just unbelievable. And I love Artie so much, and And Norm, it was Norm's movie, really. I mean, that's what it was. MGM said, let's get into this kind of Saturday Night Live star business, and what kind of movie do you want to make, Norm? Yeah. And it was a spec script written by Frank Sebastiano, who used to write on Saturday Night Live, the news with Norm. And then Fred Wolf is a big comedy writer, also worked on SNL when I met him, and gone on to bigger things, and they were the other writers. And it's hard, but it was. I had no trouble with Norm. It was funny. We had Entertainment Tonight there on the set, and I go over to give Norm a note. We're about to do a scene and do a retake of a shot, and Norm goes, "Why am I taking direction from the dad on Full House?" And he said it loud enough so the ET crew could pick it up. That was the whole deal. Just make fun of Bob as much as you can. But it was, it was a gift to do that thing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of funny stories, but it's also tragic when we lose really good people. It's just really, especially funny people. My goal is to keep Artie alive. That's
right. But it was so, and I admire it because my father did pretty much the same thing with his with leaking the details or sharing it, because it is very private when you're dealing with something, and I really respected the way that he kind of just handled it on his own terms and did his thing, not to get sad and morbid, but my dad did the same thing. I mean, he minimized the damage for other people. He thought that was the correct choice, and he did it his way. And
But you knew about it?
I did not. So it was very much like Norm to, let's say, the audience, like maybe
Not
you guys.
talk about it, yeah.
I would say your friends probably knew more about him, but for those of us that enjoyed Norm, we didn't really know, right? So it happened, and then we were shocked. Same thing, kind of like with my dad. It just kind of happened.
It seemed like it happened fast, and no one knew.
But I like it. I like that he controlled it because it's his.
Well, there's dignity that comes with that, because when you're sick, there's things that happen, which is pity.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to be pitied, and there's other things that come with it, which is, you get babied, or you get told you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's your life, and you want to be able to live it. It's not like he's going to go out and get a bunch of, cocaine and hookers.
Right.
Although if he wanted, I would have gotten them for him. I'm sorry about it. I lost both my parents too.
It's rough, but I am glad that Norm got to choose it and do it his way. I just think, and was there any other way? Probably not, because that sounds very much like him.
No, and it'd been a long time, and also I knew something was wrong because I was close enough with him to know that.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was other stuff that was serious, but I didn't realize that he had been going through so much. He was. And he was just a very one of the most interesting people that I'll ever know in my life. I mean, and I really knew him. I mean, we had a silent language. We would just be able to. We'd be in a room and people would do something, and we'd just look at each other, and we didn't have to say anything.
Yeah, the joke. That's a special kind of a connection with a thought joke. Like, you guys just had thought jokes, like where you could just look at something, he looks at it, you look at each other, and you're laughing. That's
because the joke's right in front of you. It's like some guy trying to start a motorcycle and he can't do it, but it falls over and he picks. It's just life. It's the stuff people laugh at. Just watching life sometimes. Just an awkward guy having a problem, and you just look at each other. And then, eventually somebody, if you're a comedian especially, somebody eventually will say something like, this guy's really got it all together. This something really just a comment, just to add something. But that's the joy of comedy. Yeah. That's the joy of knowing funny people. That's the joy of what you guys get joy out of. That's why people come see comedy. I mean, look how powerful comedy is. And right now, a bunch of arena shows are getting canceled for my friends that are doing them, and there's about 5-6 people that are out there doing 20,000 seats more. Dave and Bill Burr's now about to start a big arena tour, and he's not going to spend his life doing arena tours. But when you get that big, you might as well do it. And I just love him. In fact, my podcast is with his company now, All Things Comedy.
Yeah, we know some of those guys. I got some buddies over there. Man, it is so awesome to get to chat with you, and we really appreciate your time. And you just mentioned it,
Me
the
too.
power of comedy. I hope everybody goes and sees you.
Yeah, Hard Rock Live this Friday, January 7th. Get your tickets now. Also, check out Bob's podcasts. Bob Saget's here for you on All Things Comedy.
Indeed.
Also, go to bobsaget.com, which is crazy that you have ownership of that domain name. Did you buy that in the 90s?
I had to actually get that because people, when they see a famous person, they buy up the .com.
I was going to ask you because I thought to myself, someone definitely bought bobsaget.com and then Bob had to buy it from them, right?
Man. They lived in Italy. I'm like, what? what? bobsaget.com. That's my accent. That's my video show voice. That's when I would narrate the videos. BobSaget.com. That was the offensive for all Italians everywhere.
What did he sell it to you for?
I'm sorry?
What did he sell it to you for? Like
$2,000. I had to pay $2,000 for my name.
But he got gouged. $2,000. It's a $7 domain.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be like he demanded like $20,000.
So he was a fair Italian. I don't believe
No, I
it.
think maybe for him it was a big deal. Maybe he bought himself some pasta. I don't know.
Yeah, get him.
Can't do those jokes. I think I could do Italian jokes.
Oh,
You're good with pasta.
Italian,
I'm
Irish.
almost Italian.
Yeah. Albino, all of them on the table.
And no pasta in
Albino
Florida.
is rough. It's hard because of the lighting. You got to be very careful. You want to hand out those matrix glasses to that audience if you're doing it. That's not even funny because they're actually people that I think I should stop that.
Yeah, let's stop.
Well, Bob, good luck.
I will say the best thing is that a car at night will see you on the road. I think that's the best.
I think that fixed it.
All right, I think I was right the first time, and then I should have stopped.
Well,
Bob, you fixed that good.
Thank you for your time, my man. It's always a pleasure, and
Thanks so
have
much.
fun when you're in Orlando. We're looking forward to seeing you. Okay?
I hope you can come to the show. Can you come?
Yeah. I definitely can make it out there. So I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna reach out to LT over in the.
I'll my guy reach out because it used to be like Radio Paola. You would get like a refrigerator and steaks and stuff. I don't know. I didn't live those days, but 30, 40 years ago, that's what they would do. I'll send you some steaks. You come to my show.
All right. I love it. I'll take you up on it. Well, have a good one, man, and thanks for the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy. Thanks so
man.
much.
All right,
Be good, Bob. What a good dude, right? It's always fun chatting with him.
Again, like just how you hear on the interview, he's super down to earth.
He's sick, by the way. He didn't say that, and I was wondering if he was going to bring it up. Too professional to do that. He's like, nah, they don't care. People don't care if I'm sick. I'm here to perform. I'm here to do my thing. I do my thing. You don't care about my sickness.
Yeah, and also if you mention that you're sick at all, no matter what, everything goes to COVID instantly, which is understandable. But it's not always COVID. There's
I didn't go that though
there.
when he said that because I'm from Florida and we don't do that. I'm like, you sick? What do you get a cold?
But man, he's like, I know he said that it's fine. People come up to me or whatever. But man, he's got to be like, you walk down the street. Everybody wants to take a picture with you, right? And talk to you, Bob Saget.
I don't know.
He's such a famous, recognizable figure.
What's his IQ?
It's
Probably pretty good.
I think
Smart
real
guy.
good. I think real good though.
Yeah, but
He strikes me as one of those people that's secretly like a genius or something.
it's got to be hard though.
Have you ever
to
seen
live
him
like
navigate, like on his TikTok or something, navigate people?
No,
He's
well, he's
super
probably good at
patient
it.
and it's very patient and very. It's natural.
You know how, like, have you heard how, like, Keanu Reeves, I mean, he brought it up, but Keanu Reeves will, like, ride the subway in New York and stuff, and, like, no one would bother him because, and I heard some interview or someone talking about something he said.
It smells like poo-poo.
Well, that he just, like, it's his demeanor makes people.
Like, you don't want to bother him.
Like, like, he's just sitting
Or just
there,
mean
like,
face.
looking. Well, not even the mean face, like, just because he's, like, a relaxed, normal person, he doesn't, like, come off as a
I
celebrity.
would bother him. If I walked on
You
a
think,
subway.
but people are so dumb, like, they would be like, oh, my God,
I would do
like,
that. No, that's not
putting-
true. This is a fake story.
it has
If
to
I
be-
saw Keanu Reeves on the subway and he's sitting there like a cool dude, I'd be like, "Holy crap, you're Keanu Reeves! Let me
Would
get a
you
selfie."
really?
Yeah, Absolutely.
There's a bunch
I'm
of
giving you an honest
videos.
answer. I think everybody.
There's a bunch of videos of people just
would do
filming
it.
Keanu Reeves, and he's just sitting there, and no one's bothering
Fake.
him. And it's on.
Fake.
It's a bunch of social
I don't
media.
know.
It's a
It's
thing.
fake.
Is it fake?
It's fake. Everything's fake.
I think it's real.
No, but no, you know
I'm sure
what
he gets
reality is
bothered.
now? Reality
Yeah,
is
yeah,
now
right,
is
you're
taking your phone out of your pocket and filming something and then telling whoever you're filming, your subject, do what they don't expect. Because I'm going to put it on the internet and I'm going to get my fame. We're addicted to it. Like, look, fish out of water. Look, fish out of water. Look, fish out of look. No.
Everybody's trying to.
No.
Yeah.
It's never as complicated as you think it is. It's always simple.
Yeah.
If Keanu Reeves gets on the subway, people mob him. Guaranteed. No
You're
one
right,
can
you're
change
right,
my
you're right.
mind. No one
Yeah.
can change my mind.
They have to. They look at the world we live in. They're not mobbing Keanu Reeves.
Why would you video that? Give me the purpose of a video of Keanu Reeves not being mobbed. What's the purpose of a video of him not being
just
mobbed?
to say that you saw Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, but that
right?
didn't it didn't
Well, it's
happen
a
is
thing.
my
Look-
point. You're filming it,
Sam,
but it
look
didn't
at-
happen. You're
Look up Keanu Reeves
No.
rides the subway. It's a thing that people film Keanu Reeves just sitting there minding his business
Fake.
in real life. It could be fake. I don't know.
No, fake.
Someone
Don't believe
I was
it.
listening to some podcast talk about it, and
No, I've heard it before too.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't
you're
believe
right.
it.
It's like how are they not?
I don't believe it.
Because how are they not running up to Keanu Reeves asking for selfies? Right? Everybody's gonna do that. I wouldn't do that because I'm too awkward. But every other
Any celebrity that I've ever seen that's like
There's
a mega
Twitter account called Keanu Doing Things.
it's an internet thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's real. Or,
I don't think it's
you
real.
know, or they're just catching the small.
Who's the most famous person you've
Yeah, you
ever
don't know
seen?
if that little snippet's like before or after people
Yeah,
are
yeah, that's what I
harassed.
mean.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's in between mobs.
Don Shula was the most personally that I've ever met in real
Who?
life.
Wow, that
Don
is like
Shula.
that's a
the old
really
Miami Dolphins
disappointing
football
answer.
coach.
Any
Probably that-
relation to Tommy Chula?
I stood next to Tom Cruise.
Okay. Yeah, that's famous.
At the Home Depot Center for an LA Galaxy match. He was walking through the corridor and I stood next to him. First thing I noticed, I'm like, hell yeah, he is tiny like me. I looked at him, I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen another person like me.
Were people mobbing him?
Yes, that's
yeah.
the thing. That's
Well,
why
that's
I'm
real
telling you it's
famous.
fake.
I
And he
guess-
was with Katie Holmes at the time and they had their kids.
Oh, yeah.
That was pre-Jamie Foxx.
Do you have a bunch of security around him?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And they were pushing people back because you mob celebrities. You don't
Yeah.
just sit on the subway, Keanu Reeves, biggest star in the world, Matrix, whatever, and you just said, no, nobody bothers me because I just have this attitude. That's garbage.
You're right.
That's not true.
Oh my God, I fell for garbage.
No, but everything
I
gonna
fail
go.
for it.
I fail for the garbage.
Yeah, I fell for the internet. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to a Corporate Time. Where's my token? I want to
That's a great
spin
way to
it on the
start.
table.
That's a
I
great
love
way
it.
to start. Hey, we've been wanting to do this for a very long time. We didn't get a chance to do this before the actual holiday. It was what I think we had to set up for that, right? Before the
We were
holidays?
chatting about it, yeah.
Yeah, we were going to have our next guest in, and I thought it would be really fun because we've made a lot of jokes about it, but I honestly do not know, I kind of have a grasp of, but I don't actually, I don't think I can articulate what an NFT or non-fungible token is, right? I don't even know what fungible is. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest because I got a lot of friends that think they do. I got a lot of people that they do this and that, and I got this. I got the wallet, and you need to do that, and you got to have the NFT, and you got to have the thing, and it's digital, and it's all in the metaverse and all this. And I don't think I'm dumb, old man. I'm not anti-NFT. I just want somebody to explain to me why today when I woke up, there was an article about a cartoon gorilla NFT that if you spend $5 million, you can get the M3 super serum to change the way it looks. Why would I spend that much money on something that I don't fully understand? Do these people purchasing it, do they even understand it? Because I haven't found one person that can tell me what it is, and that's why we brought in our guests.
Yeah, Kirk Bonacci's here, local
Hello.
comedian, and his buddy Ivan. How you guys doing?
Ivan doesn't get a last name. You're always so mean to the Russians. It's so mean to the Russians. He's so mean.
It's very Spanish. It's very Spanish.
Oh, it's a Spanish Ivan. Okay.
Yeah.
I went
Spanish
Russian
Ivan's here, and Kirk. Now, you usually I would start with explaining what I think NFTs
Don't
are.
do
But
it.
I'm not going to do that.
Don't.
I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it.
I'm going to, stop myself from sounding like an idiot and ask you guys, because you guys are the pros. Okay, let's start with what is an NFT?
Do you want to start, or would you like me to?
Okay,
so hello, my name is Kirk. So Ivan and I have started this NFT company. We produce NFTs, make NFTs, also work on the blockchain. There's a lot more we can get into later, but NFTs, what are they, right? So non-fungible tokens. So a lot of people know them as these cartoon monkeys.
I think that's what people like to think of them, like let's say fluorescent color art.
Yeah, there's very
floating
weird
in the sky
stuff that even I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's so lots. You're like, what is this thing? So really, when it comes to NFTs, it's a digital way of like a certificate of authenticity. It's a way of saying that like this is 100% honest, truthful, authentic. The way this all happened is obviously the technology of blockchain, which has created this way for money to be spent where a financial crisis won't happen because you can't get into debt because you can't double spend your money, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So what
now that all makes sense. Okay.
Obviously, yeah. So that was a very quick crash course.
But
the economy.
Nobody's been able to do even that.
Okay,
yet.
so
I'm happy with you so much. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy to
well,
have you here.
Bitcoin was created because of the financial crisis, because of all this fake debt and spending and all this weird, like, alteration of like money and economics. They were like, how can I create something that you can't change? The history is what it is.
Yeah, there's no inflation involved,
right?
Like because of, I forgot the term for it, but everybody's currency, regular currency, which is called.
You're talking about like decentralized, like currency.
It's just that there's flaws in it, and I think people understand. And I even kind of have wrapped my brain around crypto and the fact that it exists on a blockchain that's unique, and you could put it on a thumb drive, and it's like, this is your blockchain of how much crypto you have, and it's actually, even though you can't, it's tangible in the fact that it exists in an equation of blockchain.
Let me ask both of you guys this question, just because this is where I start to fall out of the universe a little bit. Is the blockchain that you own and you're keeping it in a wallet? Am I correct in that terminology?
More or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of said blockchain? Is it only blockchain and, hey, here's the blockchain, it has value? Or is it, hey, here's the blockchain, oh, if I have blockchain, I can do X?
Ooh, so...
Because if it has no value, if you can't do anything with the blockchain, then I'm afraid it is really hard for me to get on board.
So
because I don't see the value.
Right. So there's a lot of difference between blockchain and utility, is what you're talking about.
Okay, good.
So blockchain is the storage of the information. So to put it this way, all cryptocurrencies are blockchains. Not all blockchains are cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
A lot of blockchains are what we call assets. Like, I own X amount of shares in Ford Motor Company, right? That is what a lot of blockchains are. So when you own quote-unquote blockchain farm, you own the asset of the blockchain of farming. So example of, in restaurant world, E. coli is a big problem.
Sure.
So now with blockchain, when that alfalfa tests positive for E. coli, because it's blockchain and it's so precise, I can tell you exactly what it sat next to on the truck. I can tell you who handled it or putting it on the truck. I can tell you what farm it came from, what water it was washed with.
Hyper detailed information.
So that has value itself.
Okay.
So that information is valued at. So Ford Motor Company, the value it gives me per share, Ford's not money. I can't pay my taxes in Ford.
Okay.
Right? But it has value, and you putting money into it helps increase its value. Thus, the value of not giving the entire world E. coli has a lot of value.
Okay.
Or also in creating efficiency and all of that has value. So blockchains have that. So some of them are meant for crypto.
Is it better to look at blockchain as information, as data? Like, what's the easy?
Blockchains are technology. They're software technology is the best way to really look at them.
Yeah.
They're more software. They're more like investing in Microsoft and like software development, and less as in investing in an actual currency.
Okay. Now that I'm getting closer now. All right. Thank you guys.
Kirk.
All right, that's better. I'm a little bit closer.
There you go.
Here's where I think most people can wrap their head around crypto at this point.
Right.
But then when you get into NFTs,
Right.
this is where it becomes complicated to me, because then you get into like almost art, or it's art, and then art is subjective, and the value of art is
I
subjective.
think you and Ivan have variants that I haven't heard before.
Yeah, what is going on?
That was a very deep cough, and you had a very almost like a whimsical, like a laughing.
So that's where it becomes confusing to me, because I can wrap my head around normal art, and I think most people can. It's like, all right,
course.
what's the value of this art, right? Well, it depends on a lot of different things. One is like, who's the artist? Who made the art?
Right.
How popular is that person? That's usually the most part. How
Sometimes
rare is
it
the
has
art?
to do with the techniques.
How
Sometimes
good-
it has to do
yeah.
with what type of paint, what type of canvas you use.
A lot of variables, but what it all comes down to is the basic economics of things are worth what people are willing to pay for it,
Of course.
right? Yeah. So, but this is where the NFTs go out the window of logic for me, because now there's NFTs, and Daniel mentioned the gorilla and other stuff that are made, and I'm like,
I bet I really screwed that
why
up.
are they-
Like, I know I got M1, M2, and M3 Super Serum right, but other than that, I don't know what the hell
why
I'm about.
is this particular NFT so valuable? Because I can understand why a Picasso painting is valuable for lots of different.
Well, there's also historical.
reasons.
Like with Picasso, when you're talking about the world's greats, I don't think you can, because at that point, then you're almost dipping into history, right? Like, I don't know if you can do that.
Or the famous graffiti artist Banksy or something. Like, I can all wrap my head around it fine. But that makes sense in kind of a weird thing of art. It's subjective. But so why are certain NFTs so valuable?
So I mean, in my point of view, I think is the type of buyers. So you have now Jay-Z, you have Eminem, who just bought one of those apes for I think like $5 million.
Oh, it was him that bought it.
Yeah, Eminem bought it. So you have a lot of these people that add value to that artwork itself, which increases the value of the artwork. So meaning it makes it popular, just like how you say, Picasso's artwork and everything else, they sell for millions and stuff. That's basically how it is right now with these digital apes.
Well, is the artist that made the digital ape that's an NFT, is he super popular in that world, and that's why?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, it has to do with their popularity, their credentials on social media and everything else, which increases the value of that digital artwork in itself.
So it's the same as a graffiti artist, like Banksy. Like you could become so well known that that all your art is popular.
If you are an artist, do you need a good social media presence? If you're an artist, and let's say you're on Instagram, but let's say you're a really good artist. You're like one of the best digital artists you could out there, right? But you're just not a social media guy. Are you going to be able to work in the NFT world, or do you already need that clout?
You already need that clout in order for to help you. I mean, like right now, what helps a lot with the selling of the NFTs is your credibility on social media. The more followers you have, the better chances you have for the value of your artwork to go up.
Yeah.
So
there's only one person here that has a blue check on Twitter, and that's me. That's me. I just like to point that out. And it was because somebody was trying to steal my identity as a radio superstar. I just want to point that out.
I do want to jump in though here and say so NFTs, right? So we're talking about value and stuff, and we're talking a lot about art, right? We're talking about collectibles. And this is honestly just the first part of NFT. So the technology of NFT is much more valuable actually than these collectibles that we're going through. So I understand the weird, how is this digital picture worth a lot of money, right? And you can talk about the artist or the people who want to back it and the social construct of the value of its actual art. But when you dive more into the value of actual NFT and its technology and why it's valuable, so it is NFT in the future when it comes to quote-unquote Web3 that we're going into, the augmented reality world. NFT will be the nouns. They're going to be the objects. So that we're here today, right? In the Tom and Dan studio of the future, that aquarium, that fish tank, will be an NFT. You'll have a digital one. Its value its value will not be $10 million.
I figured it out.
It'll be worth whatever you're going to pay for a fish tank.
I figured it out. I figured out why I can't wrap my brain around this. Oh my God, you did it.
Yeah.
It's because I don't plan on living in the new version.
Oh.
I don't
Yo,
plan
you won't make it.
on
Neither will I.
Web 3,
Oh.
I
Web
unboot
3's
myself. I literally unplug myself and kill myself. I am not Web 3 material. I'm Web 2, and I'll die on Web 2.
I drink every day. I'm not going to make it.
I'm gonna, no. I'm going to tell you why you're going to exist in Web 3 because it's going to be here in like 5 years.
I'll be dead in 5 years.
So
Oh, great.
So right now our internet, our web is very two-dimensional, right? It's texts, it's voice, it's videos.
Ew, text.
It's
You like
very
that?
it's very
Yucky.
2D, right?
Yeah, I
now
need
imagine it going three-dimensional. Not like we're living in a Sims world. Don't get that out of your head.
God,
It's
I'm
not
like a
gonna
human
happen.
Minecraft.
Just stop. Stop with the Sims world. Like
a
where it
square
is so
potato
far.
man.
It'll happen maybe it's not us. We're not going to get Sims world. But now imagine this. All these cars, right? My favorite explanation was Qualcomm did this at their Snapdragon conference. Imagine electric cars coming up, right?
Yeah.
Ford is making them. Tesla's making them. Lucid, massive, big industry right now. It's all going to be electric. It's all going to be computerized.
Yeah.
So let's say you want to do a little quick checkup on your car or something's going weird. It sounds weird. You pull over. You put on your Web3 Microsoft glasses. You open your trunk and three-dimensionally gauges and things will come out and tell you the lifespan, how long you have left on this battery, what the percentage of all this
What's wrong
and
with my
that
Web
is.
2 gauges? They're in the front of the car.
Yeah, no, but like you can see like how long your battery has left. What's actually wrong with your computer? Do you need to actually take it in?
Okay,
Or
so
do
it's
you
more
just need to like,
information, more
hey,
data.
wipe off this sensor so we can get a better gauge of whatever.
Gotcha.
So it'll be like you've seen the Iron Man where he swipes through like designs and it's going to be that. It's going to be integration into our real world. Don't think that we're going to be in The Sims and babies will be on fire in our kitchen. Like, it's not going to be
I
that
was
ridiculous.
just playing that yesterday. Just set a baby on
But
fire.
all those things are NFTs. That gauge will be an NFT. Like, that's the technology that we're working with.
Okay.
Gotcha. So basically, what everybody that is hard into NFTs and you guys are saying is that
Nobody says that, by the way. Nobody says, I'm hard into NFTs, bro.
Well,
I'm so hard into NFTs.
I would say that
If you said that, I'd clown you.
like it's not a popular. Well, I'd say that being a dumb person not into NFTs.
No, we don't plan on being in Web 3.
But you're assuming that we are logically headed towards a world, which makes sense with the announcement of like Meta and all these things, where we're headed towards a world where we will see things digitally, and all the things that we see digitally in that world will be
Tom,
NFTs.
the woman has a
It's
question.
kind of like if I don't know, I'm just trying to make it make sense for me too and make sense for Tom.
Yeah.
Dan, you buy digital planes for your game.
They're NFTs.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So, I mean, you gave that value. You said this is worth
Yep.
it for me. So that it's the
Well,
same.
no,
thing,
somebody
whether
else
it's a
actually.
video game,
No, somebody else actually put a $49 tag on
you
mine.
bought it for
Yeah.
$49.
Yeah. Well,
so.
no, that one I'm not allowed to buy.
But it's the
Well,
value.
I know
It's the
it is.
value. of it.
$24. Yeah.
Good point.
Right.
You get what I'm
It's the
saying.
value
I
utility.
know. You're right. You're right.
It's a nothing. It's not tangible.
Right.
It's not a real plane that you can
Correct.
get in.
Well,
Correct. I'm already there. I'm more advanced than you guys. I'm
Until-
NFT Danny. I'm NFT
Well,
Danny.
also, like one of my favorite examples of NFTs is like people collect pins from Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the value of that other than the pin? Yeah, exactly. You
Right.
have them. And because you like them and they're cute and they're nice and you know you're not going to buy those pins off Wish because it's not the real pin. So when it comes to NFT and blockchain, you
That's
know
a
it's the
really
real
simple,
thing.
dumb, perfect example. Thank you.
No,
for that.
I love Disney, but
I
like,
like that.
it's collectibles,
Yeah.
and some pins may be worth $1 million. Some were touched by Barack Obama, and you can know that officially on the blockchain because he owned it at one point.
Sometimes people don't want to say what you're saying right now, which I
Right.
think is the ability. I think if you want to get me on NFTs, you have to also lean in and say yes, they can be a little stupid.
Look, I was a dumb person who decided to learn. And now I'm giving it to you in the
like
dumb
it.
person words.
I like it.
NFTs they're not all Rembrandts, all right? Rembrandts are Rembrandts and they're worth a lot of money, but some NFTs are going to be the hat you wear or the shoes you wear or the t-shirt you wear because when you get into this Web3 reality, you want to express yourself in a certain way.
Just like any art or anything else. So it's
Yes.
like, there are $10 million pieces of art, and there are pieces of art at
Audubon Park for
yeah,
$10.
yeah,
Let's
whatever.
go Web3 for a second because
Yeah.
I don't want to run out of time. I'm having a lot of fun.
Go for it.
All right, so Web3, can there be different versions of it? Or is it going to be one version of it? Because, Facebook, the metaverse, this thing, the first thing I thought of when they're like, hey, this is where we're going, Meta, Facebook, I was like, well, isn't somebody else going to create their version? And then what are we just going to pick which one we want to live in?
So the metaverses, when we're seeing right now, like Facebook, they're all going to be different websites, different domains you can go to. But when it comes to like Web3, it'll be like apps on your phone, but for your web goggles, glasses that Microsoft gives you. So you can download your Tesla app and you can download all these kinds of things. So it'll be kind of like the apps on our phone, but for our real life augmentation that we want to utilize.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right. All of this has helped a lot.
100%.
So how did you guys get into it? How did two guys
There we go.
So
because
both day jobs or
both
I know yours.
I have a day
Yeah, this is
job,
like full time.
but we also have a big announcement as well.
Yeah.
Hey,
for,
congrats by the way, because you're not here, right?
So I used to, I worked at the Baldwin Park Publix. I got promoted, moved to
Congrats.
different Publix.
I mean, selfishly, I was upset because I like seeing you, but I'm happy you got a promotion.
I love it. I can't. Publix will sue me, but I love Baldwin Park Publix. And then Ivan also Ivan has worked in NFTs and augmented reality for a
about
while.
2-3 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're like an OG when everybody else is like, what is this?
Yeah, and still learning as I go.
Like Ivan and I used to underage drink together.
Yeah, back
We were drinking Four Locos when they had actual caffeine in them.
Oh, those were the good ones.
Yeah, watermelon. Shout out.
Yes.
What a
That's
time
Sparks.
when you had Four Locos that actually had caffeine in it, and you had the hydroxy cut actually had the ephedrine in it.
Oh, and Stacker 2
Good old
was the
days.
number one fat burner.
Man, I look good. I look good then.
So let me ask you this, because
we got about a minute left.
okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
We'll have you
So
back.
what?
You know what?
No, we'll have
Oh
you
wait,
back.
check out Oviedo Brewing. We're making NFTs for their 100th batch.
Yeah,
This is the whole point of this.
That's the whole
was
point.
This is
to
some of our
promote-
NFTs that we created in
Yeah,
augmented
and we have to
reality.
present you with it. Oh my gosh, we missed out on everything.
We're moving this to a different segment.
Great,
because
that's great for my
There we
notes.
go.
Sorry.
We have a lot more to talk
No,
about.
we're fine. We're moving
Yeah.
on.
Love it.
So now you're showing me some NFTs,
Yes,
and it's
right.
interesting. But okay, so with crypto, because I want to talk about how a
that's
normal
crazy.
person can get into it. Because finally I got into crypto where I understood it. I
cool.
bought into it. I was like, okay, this makes sense. Where I think, and to me, it was just an investment. I'm going to take some money out of my 401k and put it into crypto. I'm not going to trade it because I don't know enough about it. I know I'm smart enough to know I'm not a day trader of crypto. I'm not going to try. If that seems too volatile, I'm just going to put it in for a long-term investment, hoping that it's going to do better than the standard stock market in 10 years, right?
Right.
And I'm betting
should.
in 10 years that crypto will be worth more than a regular mutual fund, right?
Obviously.
So that's how, and then I got a crypto exchange. It was pretty easy. I just transferred the money and bought Bitcoin and Ethereum because I read that those are the two
Perfect.
and that's
the
how
top two.
and that's how a normal dodo like me got into crypto.
Right.
Then when I looked at NFTs, I'm like, oh, I don't even know how to even get into this, or if I should buy something to hold it to value. Like it's a way more
I walk myself-
complicated
I
than
wa-
just Bitcoin, Ethereum are two popular
Right.
cryptos.
Yeah,
by the way.
obviously.
So how do you get in the world of NFTs if you want to be an investor or
Right.
even novice?
I mean, so when it comes to crypto, crypto is very new. Bitcoin alone was invented in 2008, right?
Yeah.
We're very new. To put it in perspective, the very first line of credit in America started in 1950-ish, right? It was American Express in 1954, I believe. And then Bank America, which was at the time only a bank in California, thought, oh, what if all of these private banks came together and created credit? That was like 1960-something. That's when the credit boom kind of started into the 70s. Then 1974 into 78 was the first credit regulations. Like the regulation of like the Trust Act and et cetera, et cetera. So everything in crypto is very volatile right now. As you said, like, what do I invest in? Everything is volatile. Everything is new. When it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, the big ones, hang on to those. I will say those are definitely safe, but the regulations and stuff, they're not going to come for another 10 years because no one really knows what's going on. And like I said, not all cryptos are blockchains, all blockchains are cryptos. There's value going on everywhere. Which one's going to actually be the most efficient and the best? Because they all operate on a ledger of balance and transactions, which we can get into in the next segment. We can dive more into the technicalities of what makes one faster than the other. But
Interesting.
yeah, no, I'll break it all down, baby,
Yeah,
and
I
I'll
like
break it
this.
down layman's terms so we all understand it.
Yeah, I like
but
it. I
just
like it.
know that the reason it's so volatile is because the future is coming. We're not really sure what the regulation is going to be, but know that blockchain is gonna happen because you think your money is safe because nobody knows where it is. But imagine if your money was safe because everybody knew where it was.
Mm-hmm.
So now when your money's stolen, like, wait, Tom's missing $200.
It's like Tom
but
with
Dan
his car.
has 200 more. This doesn't
He
make
leaves
any
his
sense.
car open because
we
he
all don't agree with this.
Yeah.
It goes back.
Yeah, all right.
And just reading about how basic currency works
Right.
will help you understand where it's like, well, I know, you just look what the reason we think the dollar's worth what a dollar's worth. It's insane.
Oh,
like
we
you know,
can-
with inflation, it's like nothing's
We can
standard.
even break down the history of money and ledgers in the next segment. We'll talk about it all.
but like even beyond the actual crypto, because I want to talk more about NFTs.
Right.
Where the average novice, like say you bought a little bit of Bitcoin because you wanted to make it 5% of your portfolio or whatever,
course.
just to hold on, blah blah blah, and then now you're looking at NFTs. And you're like, well, how do I get into it? What's the first step of even getting into NFTs at all?
I mean, your first step is downloading what's called a quote-unquote wallet. Yeah. So MetaMask and Coinbase wallet are actually your two easiest ones to download.
Okay, and people are probably familiar by now if they buy some crypto.
Right.
They bought some
So,
Doge and they have a Coinbase wallet.
Coinbase wallet's my favorite because you can connect it to your Coinbase. So so are we? We're not pausing, right? We're just gonna keep going to the next
yeah,
segment.
roll.
Thank
Just keep
God.
going.
Okay.
Just roll.
So the way wallets work is it's kind of a weird, quirky, strange way where we actually have centralized and decentralized wallets now. So you have a decentralized wallet like your MetaMask where you get a crypto wallet and it gives you 12 words. And those 12 words are your password to get into your wallet. If you lose those 12 words, you lost your wallet, like losing your actual wallet. Goodbye, it's gone forever. But now Coinbase and Binance and Crypto.com, they all say, humans are dumb. You're stupid. You're going to lose this password. I guarantee it.
And
I
people
don't
are going to
trust
be
you.
afraid to
Yeah.
even buy stuff because they're afraid they're going to lose
Give me
it.
your email and a password, and we will hold it for you. And whatever you want to buy, we'll do all the fun stuff. But like, you work through us. But they also, because of the app, they now have the $2,500. They have the $250,000 insurance from the FDIC, and they have all these regulations now. So it's more trustworthy. Whereas if I lost my crypto wallet from MetaMask, I lost everything.
And you hear about that. Guys
Yeah,
throwing them away in
and-
landfills.
Oh yeah,
and-
exactly.
Yeah,
but if
there's
I
like-
lose my password from Coinbase, they're like, "Yo, I got you. Don't worry. We knew.
Now, is
We
that
knew
okay?
just like every other thing. Your
Is
bank
that
account
okay,
and-
or do other crypto and NFT guys go, you're a Coinbase guy, you're a donkey?
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
There's still because your Coinbase wallet. So the Coinbase wallet can connect to your Coinbase account. My Coinbase wallet is connected to my actual crypto wallet. So you
Okay.
can connect it separately.
So you can do whatever.
So
you can
I
connect it to
have
whatever you
so I
want.
have
Yeah.
crypto investments in my Coinbase, but then I have like NFT investments in my wallet.
Okay.
And I don't combine the two. I mean, I can choose to if I want to.
Right,
but
right.
I just choose to live my life and do my thing. But yeah,
organized.
so there's two different versions of it. You can trust the centralized quote unquote locations. And it's actually a little bit better for the casual investor to do it that way. Because on the non-centralized apps, you pay what's called a gas fee. So for you to be pressed into the blockchain, it requires energy. Our cars require energy. They require quote-unquote gas. That's why it's called gas. Not even joking. It's because it's like cars use gas.
A gas fee. Got it.
Whatever. They need
Got
to
it.
transport yourself down the
If they didn't
crypto
explain that,
blockchain
it wouldn't be
line,
so.
They call it gas.
Because for me, I look at something like that, the gas
Right.
fee. I'm like, oh, they
But
got to pump this thing full
Coinbase-
of hydrogen and
Yeah, they don't charge you gas because what Coinbase is, it's just a centralized hub of cryptocurrency. So when you say I want to buy 5,000 Ethereum, they go, you have 5,000 Ethereum, and they don't charge you anything until you actually withdraw it. Because to them, it doesn't actually count until you actually
Until
pull
you
it
take
off
it
the block.
out.
Until we actually have to process this transaction onto the blockchain,
Yeah.
which costs
energy, right?
which we'll get into if you want to.
Well, people are asking
My
why
word.
you can't use fingerprint, why you can't use face to log into your wallet, your blockchain wallets. People are saying that.
so 12 words instead of fingerprints
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, with Coinbase, you can do it.
Yeah,
too.
I have face recognition on my Coinbase
It
account.
depends on the wallet and how you do it.
Got
you
it.
move
And
it.
by-
Why did they go to 12? Just they think that's the safest.
On it, same way Heinz 57. Makes no
Gotcha.
effing sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
57
A
engravings.
combination
whatever,
of words
bro.
is
Yeah.
probably so
12
big you can never
words.
hack it.
Baker's dozen. I hate bread.
So-
dozen.
But Kirk, going back to like, okay, well, in the crypto world, we at least know which ones are popular, and maybe we could read about like, all right,
Right.
Bitcoin may be the most popular and sturdy if you're going to invest into it. But the NFT world, it seems like there's so many different NFT. How do you even know where do you even start with if you want to buy an NFT for an investment? How the hell do you even know which one to buy?
I mean, I think in my opinion is first checking out the artist. How many arts do they have? How many buyers do they have? Or how many people are like looking at the artwork itself? It's kind of like buying stocks. Like how many, how much are they selling? And let me see if I want to go ahead and invest in that.
So it's similar to a regular artist,
like regular
where
art, yeah.
you want to buy a regular artist's art before they blow up,
Yep.
because when they blow up, that's when it's expensive.
But that's as an investment. You could buy it because you just really love it.
Yeah. So
That's the other
that's the thing
side
is
of
like
the art.
it's like every other thing you do. Like you need to do a little bit of research to
Okay.
make sure like you like the artist or maybe they track well or whatever. But also like Dan said, like if you like it, just buy it.
now
get it.
let's talk
Well, most
about
of the ones I'm talking about too, they're not like you're not breaking the bank. You're just buying a
Yeah.
cool NFT.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like probably a lot of them were made by kids. I'm guessing.
No,
you
I mean, there's some of the
Some of them,
NFTs,
but-
the pixel humans, I believe.
Heard of
That
it.
was made by I think like a 14-year-old or
Yeah.
something, and
See,
it's made millions.
Personally, I'm not a person who's into the hype of these art NFTs. So like to me, like I get it. Like I understand the hype of it all and
Yeah.
what happens. But like approach it as though buy the things you like.
Right.
Buy the things that you think are cool and then you like them and you have them digitally. Because trust me, it's what we're doing or what I'm personally trying to do. Is like
Tom bought the Octomom's NFT.
Right, but like I
There's
like
a porno in it. It was weird.
I see the objects, right? I see the technology of it. So to me, it's like I want this technology to expand and move out. So like what we're doing is we're creating NFTs for breweries in Central Florida and companies. So we partner with Oviedo Brewing. Their 100th batch. So they've been a company for about 3 years.
Beautiful.
They have a few silos. Silos have a batch in them. And this is their 100th full batch they're brewing as a company. Big event, right? Super cool. And I was like, hey, look, let's make an NFT. So for their 100th is what it's called, their 100th batch. On February 2nd, so coming up, we're going to release an NFT. So we took the can and we mapped it. And we're creating this 3-dimensional representation that you can, spin, interact with, and have.
It's gonna be augmented reality.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So basically what happens is
This is digital hot dog, by the way.
Yeah.
We came up with this idea.
digital hot dog.
I don't
Ken,
even- why
is
did
that
you bring
the
that up?
NFT you want? Do you want a digital hot dog?
Yes, we do.
We do.
Kirk.
This is a true story. We came up with
down with
an
it.
idea.
Talk to me more.
When we were working
This
in
is
morning
15 years
radio,
ago.
15 years ago.
Oh, Ken. Oh,
We
this makes me
hated-
want it more.
We hated
We're the Al
we were
Gore
so
of NFTs, by the way.
Yeah, we were so bored and we just hated it, and we would just screw around all day. And we were screwing around one day, and we came up with the idea of taking a JPEG of a really bad 8-bit hot dog, and then
selling them
to people,
and
and then
email it
and
to
then
them.
emailing them. There's your hot dog. Enjoy
digital hot dog.
a digital hot dog. We never
pay-
sold.
This is essentially
Oh.
NFTs, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Essentially, this is I bought the Disney pin of the Tom and Dan hot dog.
But I think we had the actual idea because the whole thing was when people would ask like, "Well, where's my hot dog?" We'd be like, "It's digital.
Yeah.
You can't eat it."
But
They're like,
now,
and-
but now imagine utility in the sense that we have 100 Tom and Dan hot dogs.
digital hot dogs.
If you buy a digital hot dog, that guarantees you one hot dog with Tom and Dan.
Oh.
And then you
Why do I
sell.
want to eat a hot dog with these horrible people?
I mean,
sell them.
Yeah, I just want to take their money.
Have you heard of supply and demand?
I thought NFTs were a squid
I will
scam.
supply
Idiot.
100 hot dogs and they will demand them.
I don't want to hang out with people. I sell them
I
nothing.
thought, okay,
For
I
a lot of
thought
money.
Kirk was coming in here to teach me how to steal money from fat people, fat idiots.
But so speaking of utility in the hot dog eating, if you purchase the NFT for the Oviedo Brewing,
Okay.
not only do you get the NFT, which is the whole part of it, and it's
Yeah.
a really cool, fun thing. So if you like Oviedo Brewing, have you?
You
been,
can collect it
my
and get the
honestly
beer.
straight up Florida Boy, which is one of their one of my favorite beers I've had in Orlando.
It's good.
I love it.
They got
also,
good beer.
I told Vishal, who's the owner there, I told him Taco Tuesdays need to come back.
You know, our the Tom and Dan Ladies Society, we adopted the road right there by Oviedo Brewing.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Oviedo Brewing.
Oviedo Mall Boulevard.
Come
is
out
Tom
when
and
we
Dan.
pick up trash, man. Then we'll go drink some beers.
Well,
Yeah.
so here's
That's what we did
the
last
beauty of our NFT for Oviedo Brewing is we're doing it for their 100th. Do you have a little preview? I don't know if we can put it on camera. We'll show y'all real quick.
I only don't put it on camera, but
yeah, we'll show y'all. It's real
here,
fun. But
let me go to
the
Kirk.
purchase.
is just the preview of it.
Okay,
It's cool,
all right,
man.
that's
Yeah,
It's
cool.
really fun. So for the
Exclusive.
100th, we're producing 100 NFTs.
and you can buy one if you're a big fan of the brewery.
And it's gonna be all
they will be
animated.
on sale February 2nd. So 2222 because horoscopes. And what that does is it guarantees you
That's
a
neat.
ticket to the release party event.
Okay.
So we will have 100 tickets available when you come in. Because you bought the NFT, you will come
gonna
in,
be-
you'll scan the QR code on the case of beer, you will get your NFT there, but also the party will be a quote-unquote exposition for our company, Mercury Meta. So when you get there, there will be QR codes around the brewery to scan, and you'll get an augmented reality experience throughout the entire, like...
I'm impressed, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So,
That's
yeah,
cool.
so 100 people, or 50 if you each want to buy 2, I don't care, can come to we'll come to the brewery on a certain day. We haven't announced it yet because it's the 100th batch, so we don't know when they're going to hit the 100 on their silos.
Yeah.
So if you want it faster, drink more beer at Oviedo Brewing, please.
good, yeah.
Straight up. And then the event will, everyone will come out. You'll have your NFT proof that you have your ticket because it's on the blockchain and there's no way to duplicate it or do anything else. Interesting. And if you can't make it, you can sell it. And here's the beauty of the blockchain: if you sell your ticket, Oviedo Brewing automatically gets royalties on the sale. That's the beauty of
yeah,
NFTs.
you can build that in.
So
Yeah.
NFTs are more than just what it is. Like if you were to make a song, Tom and Dan sings the blues, and
I
put
do
it in
sing the
NFT
blues.
and put it on the
Let's do that. Write
blockchain,
that
right?
down.
Yeah.
And you make 100.
Tom does that, but only in blackface.
you-
It is
you- yeah.
it's so offensive. So
It
offensive.
has an audience, though.
It does.
I've seen it.
Especially in Florida.
Like CDs, you make 1,000 copies. You make 1,000 CDs of this song,
Yeah.
and you sell it, and everybody buys it, right? But then someone has the CD, and they resell it.
Yeah.
You automatically get a royalty from the resale because it's on the digital blockchain.
You wouldn't get that if they took it
You
to
don't need to go
Peaches.
through anybody. You don't need to have a contact a lawyer. You don't need an agreement because
just
it's linked to your official account. It automatically goes back from the sale.
It's like a
So artists,
unkillable paper trail.
singers, songwriters, comedians, artists, they automatic. So you don't need to go through Capitol Records. You don't need to go through Sony. You don't need to go through. You can produce content on your own and sell it, and the resale you automatically get royalties.
Yep.
That's the beauty of NFTs, and that's the beauty of supporting breweries with these NFTs. Because if someone wants to collect this art and pay you for it, the brewery will automatically get money for it.
You know what's neat, and I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Yeah.
You know what's a lot cooler than and this isn't, again, it's not. I'm not being negative, but Untapped app, any of that stuff that
Yeah.
going around to different breweries, if they all had NFTs and sipping a cool beer you like and buying
Yeah.
their NFT, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I could see myself.
Imagine collecting
getting
all the
in and
Central Florida
collecting them all.
NFTs.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And if they all sold out,
That'd be
well, I
neat.
want to find the one that I want to get and support it, and like then
You're
it'd be-
not a collector, really,
Yeah.
but I could see
Yeah.
myself
I
This
mean,
is
but
falling
like, do
into
you collect
collection.
shoes or shirts or hats, or is there something that you like?
Yeah.
Candles, snow globes.
I have no joy.
No.
Kirk.
Okay, well,
We're trying to find it.
You're the
We thought this
person-
was going to be
but-
it. Thank you for coming in.
We'll
We'll
work
keep
on
trying.
it.
But no, here,
Do you like water by chance?
water. But
Strictly Mountain Dew.
I will.
No, that's me.
I will tell
He's
you.
only alcohol.
Oh,
I
gave
do
up
like
on
the
Dew.
fact that you can collect it on your phone.
Yeah.
Because it's.
You
I
just
do have
learned
that.
how to mobile deposit checks.
Oh,
Literally this morning.
How dare you? I did not learn to.
So-
That's right. You're right.
just
Did
saying.
you see me? I
You're
did.
right.
So I'm
No,
gonna-
no, no.
If I convince that person that NFTs are okay, we're doing a great
I'm
job
not sure
right
he's
now.
convinced.
He doesn't even know he's here.
He's like, I'll do it because Dan says I have to. All right.
I'm convinced that it's the logical future,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
And then so
Man,
so I'm
I want to
yeah.
fight it, but you guys gave me I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this segment. I want to do more
Yeah, I would
of
love
this
to,
digital
yeah.
thing. I want to get you guys in here
Well-
more so we stay up on this,
Yeah.
so we don't sound like dumb
we
old
need to
men.
explain more of the ledgers and how they're and why Bitcoin is slower than Ethereum. Like, there's so much more to talk
I would
about.
like to know that.
And-
yes.
And so, I am betting heavy. Obviously, I invested some of my own money that the fact that this ain't going anywhere. Like
No.
it seemed logical to me that this is just going to get bigger and bigger, and this is going to be a thing. So I'd rather get in early, right? And
Yeah.
and I mean, and so my last question though, because this is what is hard, I think, for a lot of people to wrap their brain around. So when you show me an NFT, I'm looking at essentially a picture of something, right? And I'm dumb. A lot of people are dumb. So, and I'm looking at a picture of a digital
Forrest
beer
Gump
can.
NFT.
Well, I'm sure could take a screenshot of that, or you could screenshot that picture, send it to me, and then now I have the picture, and I'm like, hey, look at this beer can NFT. It's the same exact picture, but it's not the NFT because it's just a picture of the blockchain. How do you know that you're looking at an NFT?
This is my favorite question.
Okay.
I love it. How you're looking at an NFT? Look, how you're looking at I can't tell you how you look at the Mona Lisa. How do you know you're looking at the Mona Lisa? Because you're at the Louvre. That's how you know. I can put the Mona Lisa in my house. You can have the Mona
Wait,
Lisa.
is there no way to know?
Exactly. There's no way to know that this website called pictures.com has the NFT that. No, what NFTs are what's in the art world called provenance. It's proof of ownership, proof of purchase, et cetera, et cetera.
Authenticity.
So the same way that I can Google a Jackson Pollock and pull it up and put it on a big screen and look at it in the same, it's when you go to the Louvre and you look at the art there, it's the art there. You know, there's the specialty of it.
Is it difficult for you guys? I'm being serious.
No, go for it.
Is it difficult for you guys in this? Because I feel like I can feel frustration in you answering that.
I mean,
in a good way. Because do you guys get tired of trying to convince dumb old men that this is the future? Because it would be frustrating to me to keep yelling to people, guys.
It's learning new math.
Yeah,
because
and people hate this, myself included.
hate
To
change.
me,
So,
yeah, they do.
So for us, like what we're trying to do is eliminate that. Oh, but I have a copy of that picture. It's like, no, our stuff that we do with our NFTs is augmented reality, meaning that the person who took a screenshot of my picture won't have the
How do you
ability
spin
to
a screenshot?
interact
Right.
with
Yeah.
that 3D object, you know. And not only that, I mean, you're basically collecting. Those are collectibles, just like people have physical collections. We're also trying to give a little bit of physical collecting to the buyers as well. You know,
Something
Yeah.
aside from the augmented reality and digital
because
pictures
a lot of
it.
NFTs are based on actual objects. Like a lot of the NFT art that you see that has been purchased for a lot is kind of actual art. So when it comes to the beer, and the original idea was wine is like when you buy a wine bottle, you get the digital and the physical.
Yeah, so then that way,
representation
you
of
have
it.
something tangible on top
Yeah.
of something digital that you could use in the metaverse.
There's
that
a
you
lot
could
more that
trade.
goes into it.
Now, do you guys like both? Let's plug your company again, Mercury.
Mercury
Mercury
Meta,
Meta.
like the Planet Mercury, META Meta, one word. Check us out on Instagram, info@mercurymeta.io if you want to hit us up.
And you can follow us on
Um,
TikTok, Mercury Meta.
Yes,
I will do that.
I'm Kirk Bonacci, Ivan. Hit
Perisky.
us up. Like we do all sorts of. I mean, we're willing to work with whatever. We have a friend who works in real estate, and a big thing in blockchain is smart contracts, which would benefit real estate. So we're an NFT right now company to help breweries and like special releases and
so
stuff.
companies, businesses,
Yeah.
brands, even artists themselves who have music that want to turn into NFT music as
that's
well.
cool.
Yeah, we want to help
Yeah.
people who like you guys, like who I don't get it, but like I know this is a good thing for me. We want to help y'all get there and
I
produce
trust people
that.
that say y'all.
Yeah, and then but then
I trust
when
people
you
that say
move
that's a
past
good
it and go to
feeling.
the nouns, like there's obviously bigger ideas that we have to expand it and use our NFTs for the better good of society and what we want to do with it. But
Okay, last question. We got 2 minutes.
Oh,
Is there
gosh.
any possibility that this is a fad? Because you see all the memes are like NFTs are the new Beanie Babies or whatever. Like this is just a fad. But in my mind, it seems like it can't be a fad if this is where we're going. Because you're not saying a Beanie
a
Baby. You're saying the way
Are
things are
Beanie
going
Babies
to be
NFTs?
seen.
Let's do Beanie Baby NFTs.
yeah, no, well, the
So
thing
Oh my
is,
God.
that
like
could turn into
NFTs
Brilliant.
are quote unquote a fad or a bubble right now because they're so brand new that people are flocking to it. So people think we're in a stock bubble right now because stocks are spiking, but in reality, everybody has Robinhood. So it's not a bubble; it's everyone's getting into it, right? So these art things are kind of a bubble because it's art and it's subjective, but NFTs itself as a technology technology is absolutely not a bubble.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one of the things
yeah.
that everybody has to see is like a lot of these companies. I mean, even movie studios from Hollywood and stuff are creating NFTs for their films.
Right.
Disney has their own set of NFTs.
So
it's
like
like
the
tickets
gorilla-
People smarter
the
than
first-
us know
the
that
first
it's gonna
real
happen.
NFTs, the first real mass-produced NFTs for all of us will be sporting event tickets.
Yep.
Because it'll be a proof of purchase that you can't copy and scalp, so everybody gets the
I've
proper
probably already
purchase.
done this, yeah.
Everybody gets the proper one, and then when you go in, just like NFTs, the ticket for the Tampa Bay Bucks against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl is worth way more than the Bucks against the Saints on the Monday night when they lost 9-0.
Okay.
Just as certain NFTs are worth way more than other ones.
Yep.
They're objects in our future society in
I
Web3.
can see that. I can see that.
So think of it as that way.
Gotcha. Oh,
This
Kirk,
was fun.
Ivan,
Oh,
thanks
my
again.
word.
Yeah,
We'll
thank
talk
you
to you
guys. You did a
again.
great job,
Yeah.
y'all. That was
Also,
awesome.
if you're at the Orlando Science Center Beer Fest January 29th,
Well, that's-
come by the Oviedo Brewing tent area, and we will have a 3D rep of the 100th NFT you will get if you purchase it on February 2nd.
Yep.
Cool. Perfect.
Straight
cool.
up.
Well, thanks so much for coming
Yeah,
in. We'll
thank
have
you.
you guys in
Kirk,
again.
thank you guys.
I'm excited
Thank
to
you
come
for
back
having
and
us.
talk more.
Yeah,
we'll
so we'll
definitely do it.
figure it out. We'll just put you in rotation. This is way
I-
better than ACT Trivia Drew. Am I right? Come on.
I
I'm
live
learning.
down the road. I literally live down on Lake Baldwin Lane.
Okay.
And
we
now
make this
can we get
happen.
100 digital hot dogs to sell to
Yes.
100
our-
hot dogs coming up.
But also,
Thank you.
if you want the Vito Brewing NFT, buy their beer.
All right.
Do it. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Buy the beer and get the NFT. And
Yes.
I think we and Mercury Meta.
Yep.
Mercury Meta.
Mercury
yes.
Meta.
All you got to know.
Oh, Lord.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
All right, buddy. Voicemail's the most wholesome and easiest part of what we do. It's where we nestle down and we end the show with some of your thoughts, some of your concerns. I can't even be serious.
Remember Jerry's thoughts at
Yes.
the end of
You
Jerry Springer?
strike me as a man who got all
Wasn't
of your
it Jerry's
adult.
final word?
Oh,
it was final
thoughts, yeah.
You strike me as a man who gets all of his adult knowledge from Jerry's final thoughts.
He's a smart dude.
He is very smart dude,
Although
Now he's a judge.
it's weird.
and he was a mayor, right? Mayor of
Yes.
Cincinnati.
I feel like he was such a smart dude that he was like, "I'll do this ridiculous, horrible trash show if you give me 2 minutes to talk about my final thought." Right?
But didn't
like
he-
why even do it? Because your audience
I
is a
feel-
bunch of trashy dodos.
I feel like Jerry was always better than all of us that watched him, right?
oh yeah.
Smarter, better. But didn't he have some scandal? Did he not?
Well, when he was mayor, he tried to pay a sex worker with a check that I believe bounced.
That's fine.
I don't fault him for that.
That was before,
I don't
the,
fault-
but that was
that's-
before
you know
the
what?
show.
That might as well just be an
Yeah, yeah,
NFT.
People forgave him already. It's fine.
Yeah.
He also has
yeah.
a country music CD out.
Like
yes,
a-
that's correct.
Jerry
Serious?
yes.
like him.
A
singing
lot
country?
of nerds. A lot of Rick Moranis did the same thing. A lot of nerds with glasses that are smart. Both of those guys smart. A lot of smart glasses nerds.
So Kirk.
Freak Kirk would be on this. No offense, your son Tommy.
Oh yeah.
Because they're smart, they will at some point in their life record a country music CD. So you have that to look forward to.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot easier now, right? Like you could record it from your house. And
What are
you
the
don't have
odds that both Rick Moranis and Jerry Springer, who if you put them side by side would be grandpa and son, would both do a country music CD that nobody ever wanted that from either of them?
It's like wide receivers and rap albums. Right? Like if you're
Antonio
a wide
Brown.
nerd and
Yeah.
your country music album, if you're a wide receiver in the NFL, most likely you have some sort of rap song, right?
Yeah, you're probably
Or a
right.
hip hop album or something that you put together.
The athletes want to be the rock stars, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the rock stars want to be the athletes.
Same
That's
with
what the
actors
same,
and
yeah.
musicians too, though, and comedians. And
Okay, hold on.
actors.
Let's run through.
Everybody wants to do everything.
Let's run through some actors that have horrible bands. Keanu Reeves with Dog Star. We
Kevin
have
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon with the Bacon Brother Band.
well, his
horrible.
band is supposed to be good, right? Or no? Is horrible?
I'm gonna say that all of them are horrible,
Okay.
and I think that's
Jared
mean.
Leto.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Well, that is considered a good band,
They're
right?
a good band. They're not what I like.
Terrible live.
They're not what I like, but I think they're a good band. I think you got to give them a good band.
Okay.
Juliette Lewis and the Licks, great band.
I think there are plenty of people that I agree with you, but I think there are plenty of people that would look at her band and be like, this is just punk rock garbage. I think there are a lot of people that would say, she's just screaming, she's jumping around, it's not good. But I agree with you, they are good.
Russell Crowe.
Horrible. Horrible.
Jada Pinkett Smith when she was doing her like
Horrible.
metal
That was horrible.
situation.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel when she was with her husband doing
I
that
like-
folk rock situation.
I like her voice. He and them, they and him, he and her,
Him and
she
her,
and
something like
the
that.
guy.
Yep.
I like her. Yeah, I like her voice. It's not for everybody. There are
Billy
plenty
Bob Thornton,
terrible. Oh, the worst. One of the worst. Billy Bob Thornton.
Kevin Costner.
Real bad.
That's
right.
dad band, right?
Yeah, right above Billy Bob though. That's a Yellowstone Boys, right? Kevin Costner, the Yellowstone Boys.
I didn't know that was politicized, by the way. I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah. Everything's politicized, dude. Except for my Crocs. My Crocs are not politicized.
You're right. You're right.
Crocs make everything better.
Yeah, Crocs do seem like no one said like you're wearing those Crocs, you liberal p word.
No. You can
Or
storm the
you're-
Capitol in Crocs,
Yeah.
and you can be a non-binary, whatever you want in Crocs. It's both sides of
I
the
wonder
coin.
if Crocs are the great equalizer.
They are.
Yeah. Even though I hate them, and
But we
Well,
know
you
where
hate
you
equality.
stand. Yeah.
You're right. Oh my God.
Oh God, man!
Dude, your Corona is
I don't think
worse.
you're done yet.
Yours
No,
is
no.
getting worse.
I still tested positive. I just didn't tell you.
Yeah, I did too, and I didn't want to tell you guys.
I knew it.
I have a long form.
Yeah.
Mine's like, mine is like a rent-a-center form. It's log form COVID, man. It's bad. Hold on, hold
let's
on.
see the voice back.
I know what you were thinking of. You were thinking about you just now. It popped into your head. You were thinking about that guy that used to follow the monsters around when we listened to Super Mario Ken. You were just thinking about him.
Because he put me down as
a
reference
rent-a-center.
for a rent-a-center, and they called me. They're like, "Are you Ken's friend? He hasn't returned his TV.
Give us our goddamn TV back.
That's why you don't give people your phone number.
I give everybody my phone
Yeah.
number.
If you text me
It's
right now,
407-808-92.
14.
There's a 4 in it. You gotta figure it out.
I scared you a little bit, didn't I? I scared you a little bit.
No. I mean, I'll give out my number. I don't care.
Let's do. You know what? I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with a serious voicemail. I'm gonna hit both of you across the face with a
great.
serious voicemail. Here we go.
So I just broke up with my girlfriend, and it really, really sucks. Especially because she's a beautiful girl inside and out, and she
Aw.
absolutely adored me, and I loved her, of course, but there were just things that compounded that I couldn't get past, and I couldn't, it just, things weren't progressing. Things weren't getting better, I guess, and I ended it, and it sucks. Oh boy, it sucks. And most of my friends are asleep. It's a little bit later, but the worst part was trying to leave. She kept asking for another chance, and I realized.
Okay, it goes on for like another.
Why is he telling us this?
Because his friends are asleep, and we're
His
his only friends.
His friends are asleep, and I don't know if you know this, Tom, but people like to tell me sad stuff.
Same here. I get it all the time.
I get
Really?
all the. I
Yeah.
get
No
all-
one tells me
I know
anything.
you don't. We've talked about this before. You're acting.
I
as
think
if
they
you
think
don't
I'm a
know.
horrible person.
They do.
Well,
When
they
it
know you don't
benefits-
care and you have no feelings.
I get it is the no feelings thing, but he does have feelings, and I'm gonna.
By the way, Tom wouldn't be able to give him advice. He's never broken up with anybody.
I'm gonna peel it back a little bit though, but he is a good listener. If you want to tell Tom something that's heavy, he is a very good listener. He probably doesn't like to hear that.
Yeah, because in my mind, I'm living somewhere else.
I know.
He's not really listening.
I know.
Yeah.
He's
In
just
my-
staring blankly.
It doesn't
at you.
matter though.
In my
Sometimes
mind,
you just
I'm going over the
Look.
lines for next week.
look. Even you can play racquetball with just yourself and a wall. That's a
I'm
good
the wall.
analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the wall. And sometimes you just need a sounding board, right?
I need to know why they broke up. He didn't really.
No, he
tell
doesn't.
us.
He doesn't. I listened to the whole thing. I'll spare you guys. He does curse. I'm glad I didn't get to that. I don't want to give you more work. He goes a lot longer, and he basically just says that it wasn't progressing, but he's hurt. He doesn't. He didn't want to do it.
Then why'd he do it?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that
what,
I.
what does
Here's the,
progressing mean?
I
here's
know.
where he failed.
Maybe he wanted to get married. She didn't.
Here's where he failed. If you are saying that she's a very beautiful girl, then you should still be with her because you don't want to get you hitched to an uggo. If she's hot, you go
But he
with
gotta
her.
hold on
could
to it.
potentially get hotter.
Don't
I can
don't
tell.
underestimate the fact that when you're old, being shallow feels pretty good.
Also, like, I think people have high standards for their, life mate.
We used to know a guy that he was a big guy, not unattractive, but a bigger dude. And he would not date bigger girls. Like, it was a complete double stand. Yeah. Look, I make a lot of jokes and say a lot of silly crap, but I think most people know that, people are people. The way I feel. I love everybody. But this guy, he
didn't
know
what lane he was in.
Yeah, and he didn't.
That's a lot of men.
But he didn't.
That's true.
No, but he would say to me, like, I would suggest maybe even a friend of mine who is lovely. Because I'm not that type of person. In fact, Tom and I have gone on and on about how we like him with we need some ass back there. And he was not, are you crazy? No way. Like, he was adamant about, no way, not. And it always made me, you're right. Like, it's almost like not being, there's like no self-awareness there at all.
Right.
But beyond even like the way people look or what you're into, beyond that, I feel like people will give up on a relationship because in their mind, they want it to be something different, like maybe they see in the movies or some sort of fantasy of like, this is how married people act, or like long term, like, why don't we have...
I have that problem. I think that sex every night should be like pornos. Like, every time I have sex with my wife, I feel like it should be like pornos. I feel like she should be my stepsister. I feel like it should be a babysitter. I feel like,
they're stuck under the coffee table.
Yeah. And she's got her hands stuck in the garbage disposal.
But it's like people, like, they want that initial, like, when you're with someone for the first year, it's super exciting, and then like all, and that kind of fades off because when you live with another
get
human,
that spark back, Tom.
Yeah, but I think that's a misconception.
You're all out of spark?
Yeah. Like an old diesel spark plug. Like, my spark's there, but it's small.
You know what? I need to be. What do you got to re-gap me or something? Problem.
Like when you're with another human being, it's not going to be a love story every single time, every single minute of the day. Like you're going to fight with the person, you're going to get annoyed by the person, you're going to not like the person. Like,
did he say how long they were together?
No, he doesn't say any of that. Look,
sometimes people jump ship as soon as like you get in an argument or you stop liking. Guess what? People in relationships stop liking each other for small amounts of time. And then what I'm saying? You're a human being. It's not going to be 100% of the time, 100% love all the time for 25, 30. You know what I mean? How you can't hold up to that.
Also, like the not progressing thing, I'd also have to know how old you are and stuff like that to give you like I don't even think, though, in this scenario, I don't even think he really wanted us to weigh in. I think maybe he just wanted to call us and leave this here. Maybe I shouldn't have even played it. But hey,
you're calling up
and he's like, please don't play this.
You're calling up a show. But back to breaking up, though.
You ever broken up with anybody?
No.
You ever broken up with anybody?
Yes.
You ever been broken up with?
No.
Ever been broken up with?
No. I've never even had another girlfriend.
I've done both, so I'm the
Crystal. That was it.
I've done both. I've both broken up with people, and then I've not only had people break up with me, I've had people cheat on me.
I have too. Yeah.
And that's
why I broke up with them.
Is it wrong that I kind of laugh at it?
No, I encourage you to laugh at that. You know what? I'm glad you do.
Because it's not that serious now.
I was meant to be with Andrea, and I am the luckiest MF in the planet. You know I am. I kissed her feet in her ground.
How'd you catch them? Like,
how'd I catch Andrea?
No. The girl that cheated.
Coughed right in her face.
The girl that cheated on you. Like, how'd you find out?
How'd you find out she cheated?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty in tune with my body, right? I'm very in tune with
all
feeling.
The crabs.
No. My God,
STD?
man. Look at this guy. Thinks I'm like, oh my God, what's all this green stuff everywhere? No, I'm aware. I'm not as much as your wife, but we're in the same club.
Well,
we're in the same club.
Where's she, like the
I
guy?
see things.
Oh yeah, was the guy like? Did you see him hanging around? Or
I just noticed. No, this particular guy lived across the street from us, and I just noticed that they were friends. Like they'd be like a little.
Oh, it was across the street neighbor.
Kind of friendly. And here's the worst part. I haven't talked about this in a very long time, but here's the very worst part, and this is kind of mean. but he had headless horseman teeth.
Yeah, you say that a lot. I remember. I know the headless horseman.
Yep, he had
I've worked with you long enough,
Yeah.
buddy,
Well,
to
no,
know the
you were
next door
with me.
neighbor headless
No,
horseman.
but you
you
were
just
with
thought
me.
they
I brought Hungry Howie's.
You were with me when it happened.
Hungry Howie.
Yeah, he brought me Hungry
I
Howie.
was
There
at-
were beer cans and cigarettes everywhere.
Well,
I'm like,
I was Daniel's intern, and I was like, I had to bring this guy Hungry
Yeah.
Howie's.
Man.
my fat potato
No,
boss
back
is
then,
sad.
back then he was young Dan.
I was young Dan.
But older than you.
Yeah, but I was like,
I'm always
I was
older than
20.
that. That's how time works.
But
I know.
he was
That's what I'm
27,
saying.
I was 21 or something.
Yeah, but
you
if
know
I
what
was
mean?
21 and a guy was 27, I'd be like, that's this old man.
No,
He's almost
no,
30.
If you're 21,
Right? If you just turned 21 and someone's almost 30, you'd be like, this old man.
I feel like
This
if
old
you're
man,
still in
he
your
got cheated
20s,
on.
like I didn't look at you like an old because there was older people
So-
I work with. I looked at them like
So
an
here's
old
what
man.
happened.
Daniel was a young.
So here's what happened.
Yeah.
I get like a text. I think it was a text. Yeah, we were texting then. I don't know. I have a really bad memory, so I have to like really work hard to put the pieces together. But I got a text
I think
where
there
she
was-
said that they
It
were
was
going.
04, so I think there was texting.
Yeah, they
Yes.
were going to the car wash together.
But it was
or
back
something.
when you had to like type it up.
Yeah, you had to type it out. I had a
Yeah.
T-Mobile Sidekick, I believe.
Oh, fancy.
And they were going to the car wash together, and I was just
They
like,
went to the car wash
yeah, and I'm like,
together?
well, that's not a thing.
No.
And that's when I knew. I'm just like, that's not a thing.
You don't go with your friend to the car wash.
No.
And then I corrected, I confronted her, and then as we talked more, it wasn't okay. Here's another shocking part that I'll see where you guys stand on this. There was no it wasn't a cheating on kiss. It wasn't a cheating on sex. It was more of a cheating on you guys are spending these like intimate moments together, and it has taught me and proved to me that you don't want to be with me anymore. And when I addressed that, it was true. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like she stepped out and actually had an affair.
No, I don't want to
She
say
was
that.
hanging out with another dude, and you're like,
She
what-
wanted to,
Yeah.
and she was doing everything at the time that she could without doing that. Does that make sense?
Everything but physical cheating.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we were. It sucked. So I feel for this guy. It sucks when you have to kill a part of you that there's love there and it's so familiar. Oh,
The awkward part of this whole voicemail is the fact that she begged to
Yeah.
one more chance. That is awkward to me because I'll give up and be like, all right, one more chance, because if someone, I told you, if someone begs anything of me, I'll just do whatever they beg
that's
for.
good to know.
Because I'm too
I'm gonna
awkward to
beg you
tell
after
them.
this. A lot
Let me
of
text Butler real quick.
I'm a bug crazy.
I'm too awkward to tell that person no. So if I'm breaking up with someone and they're begging me for one more chance, like that is the hard. Like, how do you turn
You
that?
gotta learn to be an adult, man. You need therapy.
I don't want to be an adult, Peter Pan.
But you also hate fun. Like,
I
you
know.
hate Peter Pan.
Why
I
do
wanna
you
be
hate
a
Peter Pan?
young kid
I hate
who ain't
green
fun.
hats with red feathers, and I hate little kids flying. Don't get me started on fairies and pirates and crocodiles with clocks in their bellies.
So nowadays, like in the current incarnation of you, if you're an 18-year-old,
You're not even.
and
You're in a
dating someone-
relationship with an NFT, now, right? Like
Well-
you're dating a woman NFT.
Is it still not I guess honorable or respectful to like break up with someone through a text message, or is it now that's acceptable because everybody communicates through text?
I don't think so, man.
I don't want to be dumb old man.
I mean, if you're just like quote unquote like dating somebody, you're not in an actual relationship. That's fine, I think.
Well, if you went on like 5 dates
Yeah,
with someone,
you can text.
you
I
could
went
be
on
like,
a date with one girl that when I transferred to UCF from Flagler, I went on a date with a girl that was in my like Western Civ class, and she kept calling my apartment to get me to go out with her again. She looked like Daria's friend. Remember that?
Yeah.
The haircut.
Mm-hmm.
She had the haircut that like her hair looked like a Pizza Hut roof. You know, like I loved her though. She was attractive. I didn't love her, but she was very attractive, but very annoying. And it was the only time that I've ever done like quote a Tom where I know she kept
Ignored
calling me
it.
and
Oh, yeah.
leaving messages, and I just ignored them. And then it got to a point where I actually enjoyed coming home to a new message. Like it got,
What's she gonna say
It got
today?
sadistic and weird. Where I'm like, I wonder what Daria's friend with the Pizza Hut haircut is gonna leave on my voicemail message. And I had the old one where you have to come in and the light would be blinking, and you turn the thing and it goes, and I'm like, oh God, I'd hear it going backwards. It's a long one. I'd be like, oh, it's a long one. Get in here.
ignoring something is some of the most pleasurable things in life. that
Why do
can
you like
experience.
ignoring
I don't know.
something? You are
Like,
king ignorer.
when I don't know. I love ignoring things. When the creditors are calling me with my 20s, or someone that I don't want to talk to, or like Home Depot is like wondering where I'm at work and I've already quit weeks ago. When the phone's ringing, you just freeze like T-Rex is looking at you, and you wait. It's like ring. And you're just frozen, and then it finally stops. You're like, and the little pleasure when it finally stops. You're like, my problems are gone.
This is why
and they're not gone. They'll call the next day.
We're more alike than we are different. Write that down. I get great pleasure from being in the house, and Andrew will be like, "Are you still here?"
No.
And I'll just stand still and act like I'm not there
there
until
it
she
is.
leaves.
Yeah. There it is. That's it.
And
that's
then
why we work
Then
together.
I put Pornhub on the TV. No, I don't. I don't do that.
All right. Bye-bye.